the Keystone Clash, or hockey's Battle of Pennsylvania, or simply Flyers Penguins. But no matter the name, ever since Sidney Crosby's arrival on the scene, this rivalry is nasty. It's rough. It's about a genuine dislike for one another, with Sid the Kid often smack dab in the middle of things. For the Flyers, the mission is clear. Regular season ups and downs are in the rearview mirror. A victory now is all that matters. And there's added motivation for them. Last spring, the Flyers went on an exhilarating playoff run through 2 rounds. It ran into a roadblock in the Penguins. The Pens' 5-game conference final win ended the Flyers' Cup dreams, but it also fueled more intensity for the guys in orange and black to take on the Pens this year in a hard-fought season series. Now it's the playoffs, and with plenty of star power on either side, the stage is set for a potentially thrilling series. The postseason is here. It's the Flyers and the Pens, Game 1 next.
Back to the scene of the crime for the Philadelphia Flyers, back to where their season ended last year. Mellon Arena here in Pittsburgh. A city that is pumped up about their Pens' chance to have Sidney Crosby lead the way to the promised land and to finish the job winning the Stanley Cup. Mike Richards and the Flyers, they have other ideas indeed. It's the latest installment of hockey's Battle of Pennsylvania, and this one is important. The Eastern Conference quarterfinal playoff series, Game 1, Flyers Penguins here at Mellon Arena. And a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Flyers Hockey here on Comcast Sportsnet. Along with Bill Clement, I'm Jim Jackson. Steve Coates joins us here in just a moment. Bill, what a way to get the playoffs started. Flyers Penguins, a series that perhaps many people would expect to be later on as it was last year. Why not have it in the first round?
Nice way to warm up, isn't it? Even the Penguins coach, Dan Bilesma, who's a rookie head coach in the NHL, said this morning, he said, when these two teams meet, the Flyers and the Penguins, as he put it, there is built-in animosity, so it won't take any time to warm up. This will be hot from the opening face-off.
One of the reasons for that animosity, history. When you look back at this series in terms of the postseason breakdown, 4 meetings, all memorable for various reasons. I think, though, Bill, the Flyers remember that one at the top, last year's Eastern Conference Finals. The Penguins won it. Flyers feel as though they're healthier and a better team right now this time around.
I think the Flyers are as well. And when I look at the Flyers and the Penguins and compare the teams, to me there are way more similarities than there are differences, including the strength for the respective teams right down the middle. All season long for the Flyers, they went to their 2 24-year-old centers, Mike Richards and Jeff Carter, and said, look, we got to get you guys to get the job done, and they passed the test every time.
Boy, did they. They have been the leaders for this club. In one game, perhaps Carter might have been a little off. Richards was there, vice versa, but they're expecting both of them to be strong here in this series.
Well, they're going to have to be strong as well because they're going up against Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And from Mike Richards' standpoint, JJ, I really believe that this is Mike Richards' time of year, and he has to be mean. He has to play a nasty brand of hockey, which he is capable of. Everything else will fall into place for Mike Richards. The offense will be there. He has to be good defensively, but I think it starts with him playing a mean brand of hockey that he usually has no problem with. Jeff Carter, the number 2 goal scorer in the National Hockey League's regular season, has to generate scoring opportunities. How does he do that? I think as long as Jeff Carter takes 2 or 3 powerful strides, like he did right here, every time he touches the puck, he will be able to generate as many scoring chances against the Penguins as he did against everybody else in the regular season.
Well, both of these guys certainly revel in a challenge, and there's no question there is a challenge here going up against the big guns of the Penguins. We talked with the Flyers captain, and Mike Richards appears to be ready.
It's always nice playing against the best players in the world, and Sid not only being one of the most skilled, but he's one of the most competitive players in the league too. And when you have that combination, it definitely makes for a tough game, and that's what I think makes this rivalry so important and so much better for me, is that you have that one-on-one battle, and you have that battle with, him being one of the best players in the world, and Malkin being one of the best, and just to match up against these guys is a challenge for you, a challenge that I think me and Jeff Carter, who plays against Malkin, kind of embrace.
You could hear that calm intensity in the voice of Mike Richards. This morning he was very intense, but as you would expect for the young captain, very determined in the task at hand.
And he has to be, because these are two of the best players in the world. They have been dominant at times this year. When you're talking Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby, they bring different things to the table, but they're outstanding either way.
Well, neither of these guys scored as many goals as Jeff Carter, but they were the numbers 1 and 2 guys in the assist department in the NHL. Malkin led all point getters, and Sidney Crosby was number 3 in the point parade. Flyers have to be so careful of Evgeny Malkin on the power play. He sets up for the one-timer, and it's one of the most dangerous in the league. For Sidney Crosby, Mike Richards will try to get in his head, get under his skin, and throw him off his game. The one thing the Flyers want to focus on as well against both Malkin and Crosby is take away their speed in the neutral zone. This Penguins team should be feared. If they gain momentum between the blue lines, the Flyers will try to take away from them.
And we asked Flyers head coach John Stevens, will matching lines be an important strategical element in this series?
To a certain extent it will. We'll wait and see what they want for matchups, but I'm sure they have some concern about some of our guys as well, and maybe they want their players like Malkin, who's probably their best plus-minus guy on the ice, against a guy like Carter. We'll see. But I think it's going to have to be done by committee, just like it was against Washington last year. You can't just rely on 1 or 2 guys to play defense. It's got to be a team effort. Everybody's got to be responsible, because they are going to get the matchups they want in certain times in the game. But I think it's going to have to be done by committee.
John Stevens is so right, and it's not only 1 or 2 guys, because John Stevens, without home ice, especially here on Pittsburgh ice, is not even sure of getting the matchup that he wants, so it has to be done by committee.
And as we bring Steve Coates into the broadcast with that playoff beard really starting to look full, Coates, you like it a lot. You're talking about a couple of defensemen who could play key roles in this series.
Well, you've got 2 guys that are the leaders on their team back on the blue line. They get all the ice time when we talk about Tiemann and Gonchar. Tiemann is having an opportunity maybe a little bit of a redemption, not having the opportunity of playing against the Penguins last year because of that freak injury. Gonchar only played 25 games this year. Look at the numbers for Tiemann. 26 power play assists, second in the National Hockey League. He was the best player back on the blue line for the Philadelphia Flyers, won the Barry Ashby. For Gonchar, he is unbelievable offensively. 50% of his goals come on the power play. And I think the big key to him is the Flyers have got to take the body on him. For Tiemann, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he plays the game smart at both ends of the ice. He's a key at the point in the power play, and in his own zone, he's just so smart. And that's what it's all about as far as ice time. And because he gets a lot of ice time, we had the opportunity to talk to him about how much ice time he's going to get.
I do. I feel like when I play a lot, I play my best. And obviously sometimes you get a little tired, but I let them know then when I'm a little tired. But you know, it's a playoff hockey now, and that's why you play 82 games. That's why you work out during the summer. That now it's the time to play, and if I get play a lot, I like it.
Jimmy, I don't think you're going to have to worry about this guy's going to be on the ice an awful lot.
I don't think he'll turn down the ice time, that's for sure. Penguins Flyers, playoffs set to begin. A raucous atmosphere here in Pittsburgh.
Stanley Cup playoffs on Comcast Sportsnet are brought to you by Wachovia, the official financial services partner of the Philadelphia Flyers. By Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. And by Budweiser, reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Flyers season ended here at Mellon Arena last May. Some felt cheated because the Flyers played the bulk of that series without their 2 best defensemen. Akimo Tiemann and Braden Coburn are back, and so is Simone Gagne. You throw in Claude Giroux, and you have 4 assets the Flyers did not have in last year's Eastern Conference Final. We'll see if it has impact as the playoffs get underway after these messages. Tonight's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals is brought to you by Honda. Test drive a 2009 Honda today at your Honda dealer. And by Mountain Dew. Do the do. 16 teams remain in the hunt for Lord Stanley's Cup. The best tournament in all of sports begins here tonight with a great matchup. The Flyers and the Penguins here from Mellon Arena. This place is rocking.
We'll take a look at our Southwest starting goalies. The numbers on the regular season very similar for Martin Biron of the Flyers and Marc-Andre Fleury of the Penguins. By the time this series ends, these guys, one of them at least, will be a key factor in the outcome.
Ready to go. The Flyers in the road whites, home blacks for the Penguins. And this Eastern Conference quarterfinal series has started. Evo Timonen to Ryan Parent back in the lineup after missing a couple late in the year with a groin injury. Says he feels fine. As you look at the Flyer line combinations and followed by the defense pairs at the bottom of your screen. Sidney Crosby along for Chris Kunitz. He's upended. Quick shot by Richards, and that sailed high and wide off the stick. Double to it in the corner for Richards. Centered it. Goes all the way back out to Matt Carl. Carl. Gagne, turned around shot blocked by Crosby. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Kept in. Gagne for Richards. Batted up in the air by Orpik. And now it's Kunitz, the former Duck, moving up. Kunitz hit across the Philadelphia line with a wrist pass that's deflected away. And then Crosby finished with authority by Gagne. Head Carl to Richards. And he'll backhand in.
By the way, it was Richards and Crosby that started head-to-head, and that was Pittsburgh's choice. The Flyers had to declare first. Richards was starting, so Dan Bilesma matched Crosby against Richards.
Now you see the Pittsburgh combinations as the Flyers move in, but they say the play is offside. Mike Hasenfratz, Don Van Massenhoven, the referees of this game, Steve Miller, Mark Chuchik, the linesman.
Built-in animosity. That's how Dan Bilesma, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, described how this series was shaping up. Much different team under Bilesma than under Michael Terry, and the Penguins now are aggressive. They come at you. They try to use their skating. It's always in overdrive. It's never in reverse for the Penguins.
Teams each finished with 99 points. Their goal differential is just one goal off. Very even if you look at the season numbers. Season series, the Penguins won 4 times, the Flyers twice, but 2 of those Pittsburgh wins came in extra sessions, 1 in overtime and 1 in this shootout. Former Flyer Ruslan Fedotenko moving up, double clutch, stand on the shot, then centered it out in front. Alberts is there, tipping to Jeff Carter, and he starts the Flyers back the other way. He's second in the NHL in goal scoring. With a shot in on Fleury, he steered it away, but Carter follows it up. Carter centering for Hartnell. Hartnell checked, wrapped up, stumbles. And Hal Gill picks up the puck, and the big defenseman will flip it through center ice.
Quick change for the Flyers. Claude Giroux's line was out there against Malkin. That changed.
Hartnell's shot, save Fleury, big rebound, batted away from Carl by Stahl. And Tyler Kennedy with a pass that went off of Mark Eaton to the Philadelphia line. Matt Cook pokes it deep into the zone. Cook then tried to center. That hits Biron at the side of the net, and he'll pin it right there. And we're going to face off in the Philadelphia zone.
Give us a chance to check out our Chrysler keys to the game. Number 1 for the Flyers, they have to stay out of the penalty box if for no other reason to keep Mike Richards and Jeff Carter fresh if the game is close near the end. Crowd Marc-Andre Fleury, that will distract him, take his vision away. He was something good down the stretch. And own the neutral zone. That is the speed zone between the blue lines that the Penguins really need to feed their offense. They are a rush team.
John Stevens could not mention that enough today of how dangerous this Pittsburgh team is on the rush. Jared Ross up from the Phantoms. Lucas Pisa is also available. He will not play as a healthy scratch. Andreas Nodal sent back to the Phantoms. The last player changes the Flyers made before these playoffs begin. Andrew Alberts with a pass for Powell. That's tipped away and controlled by Eaton.
So this 4th line for the Flyers can now add a playoff game to their resumes.
That's right, all 3 playoff rookies. The Penguins do not have a single playoff rookie on their roster. That puck bounces high in the air at the Philadelphia line. Finally controlled by Powell, and he'll drop it back to Randy Jones. 2.5 minutes in. Glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet. Andrew Alberts, an adventure in front of his own net. Only his 3rd career playoff game and a couple with Boston.
But you notice how Andrew Alberts and Randy Jones spread the ice almost corner to corner to try to take away some of the Penguins' forecheck.
Penguins clearing it all the way down. They wanted change. You can see the matching was happening early. That's part of a playoff series. Get into that rhythm of the line matchups and the matching by the coaches.
Oh, don't forget, last change goes to the home team. So Dan Bilesma in his first opportunity as a coach in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting to see how we react.
Here's Chris Kunitz moving up. He'll wind and blast. Save Biron, and no rebound. When Marty is on his game, Look for his ability to control the rebounds, and right there he did just fine.
Watch also for him to be at the top of the crease, if not out of the crease. Part of the key for any goaltender is reading the options that the puck-possessing guy has. Kunis didn't have much of an option but to shoot there. So see where Marty Biron is kneeling outside of his paint, and sticky. He wants to be a big chunk of human Velcro.
He was right there. Here's Hal Gill with a pass for Tyler Kennedy. Spins the puck deeper into the Philadelphia zone. Flyers after it there. Carl checked, and the Penguins come up with it. This is Kennedy in the slot. Stahl shot went high and wide. Jordan Stahl as hot as any of the Penguins down the stretch, had a 6-game point streak. And nearly had the first goal of the series right there. Big chop there, but he did fail to make contact with it. Stahl gets the puck to Kennedy, dropping it down low. Carter could not come up with it. Cook does. Cook trying to set her, turned back by Carter. Round behind the net for Stahl. Possession here by this third line of the Penguins, and this has been a third line that's been very productive. Kennedy, angle shot. Biron handles that with ease and covers up. We look at the virtuous scratches. Both of these teams relatively healthy. Ellie Cote is out. Darren Hatcher is out, but he's here actually acting as an assistant coach with the club. As you see, Zigomanis, the only injury for the Penguins, out with a shoulder injury.
You know, it's very interesting about, we always talk about Crosby, we talk about Malkin, and then all of a sudden you see Stahl out there with Kennedy and Cook. This line has been pretty good of late, and all it is Stahl being the big guy going to the net, and Kennedy and Cook, they just go pick up the pieces. So just follow the big guy around and you're going to be successful.
What's interesting to me is the top 6 centers in this series are all 24 years of age or younger. Wow. Carter and Richards are 24, then Claude Giroux is 20, Malkin's 22, Crosby 21, and that veteran we were just talking about, Jordan Stahl, he's 20, third year in the league.
And those players are, for the most part, all signed up for long term with their respective teams. There's a turnover behind the net. The Penguins trying to get it in front. This time Fedotenko stopped right at the doorstep. What that says is, Bill, the future for this Battle of Pennsylvania is bright. This should remain a great rivalry for a long time. First penalty of the series coming up. As Don Van Massenhoven has spotted something from out in center ice, a hooking call, and the Penguins will get the first power play of the series.
It's like Aaron Asham is making the lawn skate over from his right wing position to the penalty box.
Number 45, minor penalty, hooking.
Don Van Massenhoven was out in the neutral zone when he called it. Ruslan Fedotenko was trying for a little counterattack. Was that it?
That'll indicate to you right off the get-go that they're going to call these penalties right there. You just saw just enough. A little tug right on the arm, and Van Massenhoven is going to make the call. So that's indicating to both teams we're going to call the penalty.
Well, more like a tap than a tug, but you're right. That does give you an idea, and the players will have to adjust. Sergei Gonchar, the key to this Pittsburgh power play.
Everything goes through him.
Keeps it in and finds Crosby. Crosby, down low, Malkin in front! It goes in, they score! Kunis was there, but it bounced free at the side of the net. Crosby and Malkin were both in the vicinity. Power play goal, the Penguins lead at 1-0.
Well, we said everything starts with Sergei Gonchar. Once he dished to Sidney Crosby, Crosby took 3 or 4 strong strides to the net right here. Crosby came right at the net. When Malkin saw him coming, he backed away, and it was a broken play that ended up bouncing right back to Crosby.
That's just a fortunate play right there, because Malkin's really trying to get it out close, but then it all of a sudden ended up on Crosby's stick, and I think that fooled Marty Biron. He expected to get back out to the slot too. Ended up right in front of him to his left instead of his right, Marty. Never recovered from it, Bill.
You know, Coach, I think he was probably hoping for a little more support in front as well. They may be checking this to make sure it wasn't kicked in. I thought Crosby got it with his skate and then with his stick.
He made an effort to get it with his stick. I'm not sure he did touch it. And then, of course, the question would be, was there a distinct kicking motion?
Marty Biron, I thought, did a really good job of sealing off everything down low. Oh. Off the post and then off Biron's skate. Another look at it.
No problem. Definitely think it beat the net. As far as the kick, I didn't see the motion, but I think it went off the penalty.
Malkin's pass actually was to Kunitz. There's 14 in front. Kunitz, when Malkin saw Crosby coming, give Malkin a lot of credit. He backed away. He was trying for Kunitz, and it went right back to Crosby. I still don't know if Crosby made contact with his stick.
And there could be a kicking motion with the action he had with the skate.
It would be negated if he made any contact with the puck with his stick.
I didn't see any kicking motion. It seemed like he was probably surprised as anybody when that puck came off of the paddle of Biron right back to him. As you mentioned, Billy, Kunitz was the recipient or the potential recipient of that pass from Malkin, but Crosby's just going to the net. Great job here by Biron with the paddle, but look at the skate right here.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh, this is really interesting because
now that's a different look.
I think you could make the case there was a kicking motion. And I think you could make the case that Crosby did not make any further contact with the puck. Look at this.
I agree with you. That's a different look completely there.
Okay, thanks, guys. Good goal on the ice. Thank you.
I think there's a good chance that this will be waved off. Crosby might not have been trying.
No,
he said good goal.
Yeah,
wow.
we overheard Don Van Massenhoven. Now he's going to announce it.
Further review, the puck was not kicked in with a distinct kicking motion. Therefore,
Wow. So they're ruling that it did not touch the stick, that it was off the skate and not a kicking motion.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Someday we're all going to be on the same page with that kicking motion thing.
It's tough.
Because I don't think Sidney Crosby was trying to kick the puck into the net, but he was kicking it up to his stick.
And then his stick never, at least according to the looks we got, made contact, which made that interesting. But it is a goal, and so the Penguins have struck first. Who else but Crosby to get things started?
And on the power play as well. And the bottom line is this. Don't bother extending your stick to whack anybody or to hook anybody. As Aaron Asham did, you have to avoid doing that.
Look out, Stahl in. Biron slides across to make the save. Net goes flying off its moorings, and now we've got a pile up in front, and there will be at least one penalty here as Van Massenhoven has signaled as such. Marty Biron and all of that craziness made a big stop.
Look out for Matt Cook. He is the dangerous Penguin, the guy that Andrew Alberts went after. And boy, did we get a look at the powerful speed of Jordan Stahl. Yikes. Boy, he found daylight. Marty Biron with a tremendous save. And then Matt Cook, I think, took a whack at Marty Biron after the play. Watch Randy Jones, though, slip off to the left here. Hit the post. I was watching Randy Jones. He looked like he fell off a motorcycle going about 40 miles an hour.
I think the penalty will be on what you saw Stahl complaining about. He only had half a stick at the end of the play. It was slashed. I think that's the original penalty.
I was more worried about Randy Jones. As much as there's a marsh peg and that net can come off its moorings pretty easily, it still is very heavy. And you could see in that replay, he absolutely drilled. I mean, just absolutely lost control and had no control in hitting that pipe. Let's take a look at it again here. Look at that. I mean, his shoulders up, and he's been playing injured already, and he was very slow to get up.
Coach, the old nets might have cut him in half.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine if that net hadn't moved there?
They have actually evened this up in terms of the calls. As you look at Randy Jones, Hartnell goes for roughing, and Cook. There is Cook picture.
He's the guy the Flyers are going to have to pay a lot of attention to, because Matt Cook is always hunting. And he's hunting to hit. And at 5'11", 205, when he hits hard. One of the matchups that we're seeing in this first period, as we anticipated, was the Penguins wanting big Jordan Stahl on the ice against big Jeff Carter. And if he gets that matchup, it will leave the Malkin line for Claude Giroux, Danny Briere, and Aaron Asham to contend with.
We've talked about the Flyers' depth in scoring, the 6 25-goal scorers. Penguins 13 guys in double figures with goals. Now the power play has gone up, so there's more penalties than we've been told about up here in the booth. As Malkin circles with the puck. And his shot is blocked, bounces out to Letang. Letang all the way across for Malkin.
Kimmo Timonen's on the limp. Not bad, though.
Malkin across. Here's Letang. Alberts also got a minor penalty. That's why the power play for the Penguins. Here's Malkin. Winds, blast. Save Biron. The rebound. Ricochets to the corner. Kunitz able to gather, and they're set right back up. Malkin to Crosby in front through Kunitz. Back for Letang. Could not handle cleanly.
Puck bouncing a lot, or is it my imagination?
Seems like it is. I talked to a couple of the players. Penguins side thought the ice was fine this morning for the skate, but There again, it bounces and could not be kept in by Gonchar.
I'm actually surprised that it is bouncing an awful lot, but looking at it at this level, the ice is real good, real fast.
Might be the pucks. They got to do their share.
Puck floating over the head of Biron back behind the net. There it is there, wrapped up by Guerin, but that is not called. Right in front of the same guy who called that tap foul on Asham earlier, Don Van Massenhoven, but he said that was okay, and the puck cleared all the way down. 43 seconds remain in the power play. There are the numbers, and you see 20th for the Penguins power play. That's largely because they struggled early, but when Sergei Gonchar got back in, the percentage went up rapidly. Ryan Parrott here, and he'll backhand it all the way down.
Yeah, we shouldn't be fooled by that 20th rank for the Penguins.
One area of concern the Penguins do have, they gave up 13 shorthanded goals, and of course the Flyers scored 16 of them. And looking to move here is Giroux as he knocked down a dump in, but he was stopped by Orpik. Brooks Orpik will get to Jordan Staal. Final 6 seconds of this Pittsburgh power play. Sikora in, drops it off Staal. Set across. Here's Orpik with the blast. Blocked out high. Staal after it. Bodied by Giroux. Good work against a much larger man. And the Flyers move up. Hartnell out of the box. Turning with it. Hartnell finding Knuble. Knuble holds. Takes the shot. And Fleury. Very, very solid right there. Makes the save. Briere will get to a loose puck though. Fry's shot goes off Eaton's stick back toward Danny. He'll turn it down low for Hartnell. Ridden by Orpik. Scotty Hartnell getting away from him. Back to the point. Parent. Parent, a wrister, deflects off Staal to the corner. Gotten back by Lupul. He'll try to get the puck back into the corner. Bounces out to the point instead. Hartnell across. One-timer. Parent goes wide. Now Lupul backhanding it. Flyers get some pressure here, but then Briere had trouble handling it off the board. Sikora trying to clear. Good work by Carl initially to keep it in, but now it's moved ahead by Craig Adams. Another of the pickups by the Penguins near the trade deadline. He is stripped of the puck. Lupul gains control. So we hit the 8-minute mark of this first period. Penguins had the lead on a Sidney Crosby power play goal. Here's Jared Ross moving up, backhands. That's cut off by Gill. Ross could probably skate between Gill's legs. And the difference in size with those two guys is Adams moves the puck up. Here's Talbot with speed. A wrister bounces off of Biron and went to the corner. Shaky save there from Marty. Now the Penguins buzzing, get it in front. Dupuis tipped one wide. Ross to it, ahead. Asham tips, Coburn skates it up. Braden Coburn moving through center ice. Coburn checked, he's able to one-hand it into the corner. Carcillo stopped in front of a check attempt from Gill, goes back after him now and leans into him in the corner. As Rob Scuderi moves it ahead. Dupuis to Kennedy. Kennedy with a shot that goes wide. Bounces out to Talbot. Talbot around behind. Coburn cuts it off. Turns with it. And banks it off the glass towards center. Picked up by Richards. Richards into the zone. Richards winds, fires, and that one off the post. Off the post, and then the safety netting and play is stopped. Richards beat him, but he found iron. At the other end, the puck ricocheting every which way. And finally into the net. Crosby has given the Penguins the early lead.
Well, Mike Richards is going to come up with the best chance for the Philadelphia Flyers so far as the Flyers trail their Penguins 1-0. Now he's going to come down the off wing. And when he takes the shot, now watch the puck roll right at the last second. Does it touch Orpik? Don't think so. But boy, I'll tell you what, it was cooking. And it was moving so quickly. Now it did hit on that replay. You can see it hit Orpik's stick, then hit the crossbar. Fleury was not prepared. That would have gone right over his shoulder in the net.
A lot of times you can go by the reaction of the goalie there, and Fleury barely moved, and that thing took off, and that's when you think maybe deflection. Replay bears that out. Here's Crosby moving up, drop pass for Guerin. He blasted it off a leg wide. There's that Penguins team on the rush again. Even a 2-on-2, 3-on-3 situation where it's even, they're dangerous.
That's why John Stevens said this morning they want to try to outnumber the Penguins in the offense in the neutral zone. The Penguins are coming with 3. The Flyers are hoping to have 4 guys back.
Ryan Parrott crashed into. Puck comes free. Guerin shot. And the save by Biron. He never did get control. Quick whistle helps the Flyers there. As that puck was bouncing every which way. And I think eventually Artie Biron trying to stop it behind him, pushed it back out in front of him.
We talked about the Penguins on the forecheck. They had 2 guys in the corner and Billy Guerin out between the hash marks.
Back. There's where you need a little help right there, Billy and Jimmy. As you can see, that puck was rolling a little bit. Simone Gagne says, let me just check in behind Marty here. Oh, there's the puck. I'll just put it up underneath his pad.
Except it went out the other side into the slot, but play thankfully for the Flyers had been blown dead at that point.
Was that a reverse 5-hole?
That's right. That's what I think it was, yeah. There's a point shot by Chris Letang. Ricochets to Matt Cook. And down low for Kennedy, looking for Stahl, broken up by Carl. Stahl pokes it free, and he gets to it. Wraparound try, goes back out in front. Cook check, couldn't get a shot off. Carl wanted a penalty, they won't get it. Quick shot, save, Miron through traffic again, and he couldn't control the rebound. And the Stahl line is looking dominant.
I think it might have hit him in the mask. Matt Cook got a piece of it and deflected it.
That will make it hard to control, that's for sure.
Most times.
Letang hammered on the check by Giroux, who's been physical here early on. His very first playoff game. Talked to him yesterday. He could not wait.
Well, he was the MVP in the playoffs in the Quebec League last year in junior hockey. Yes, it's a little more intense and it's a little different, but that tells you that Claude Giroux loves the big stage.
Scotty Hartnell cutting to the middle, dropping the puck off for Giroux on the backhand. Tried to center. Pens had that closed off. Back out it goes. Albert shot blocked. Across ice it goes. Shot Jones. Fleury. The save wasn't quite sure where it was. But he has got it. And then we get the obligatory pushing and shoving. We're getting a good listen to Don Van Massenhoven through his mic as he broke that up.
Well, when you get the rematch of last year's conference finals and you know that the two teams don't like each other to begin with, you know that there's going to be some physical play. Scotty Hartnell's going to be involved. The defense has done a great job. A lot of great hits at both ends of the ice. Right there, that was just Randy Jones out of control. Matt Cook, pay attention to him, as Billy had talked about. He does a lot of things late. So you've really got to keep your head up with this guy on the ice.
Third among active players in hits, Matt Cook. He is active with a physical game. Rob Scuderi with an outlet pass for Cook. He could not hang on. Carter dances around one and finds Carl. Matt Carl with a pass attempt to deflect into the slot. Loophole nearly able to drag that along for a shot attempt. And back goes Jordan Stahl, who has really been impressive here through the first half, a period of play. They center it in front. Cook jams away. He got a shot off. Miron held the post. Back to Gill. He didn't get much on that shot. Flyers look to move back. Down behind the play is Cook. Flyers move up. Here's Carter with a shot. Save. Fleury got just enough of it. Back out in front. Both Hartnell and Lupul looking for it. Hartnell got a shot off. Blocked in front by Tyler Kennedy. Cook staying on the ice. He was doubled up as he made his way back to the defensive zone, but he is staying in play.
Look out, though.
Yeah, he's not happy. Makes a run at Alberts there.
He got drilled by Matt Carl. He's bleeding from the mouth. That's why he didn't get back up. If he could take a shot of that. But that was a great shot by Carter. Actually went right through the legs, hit the inside of the pad, and then went off the back wall. Great shot there.
Yanni Malkin with the pass, and he's got Ruslan Fedotenko 1-on-3. He'll take the shot. Pad save. The rebound all the way out to Fedotenko. He hits the referee. Tried to dump it around. Kimmo Timonen. They've seen somewhat limited ice time here in the first after blocking a shot early on. He's run at by Malkin there, and the Flyers clear the zone.
Kimmo's still limping.
Gonchar. Get it as far as Malkin squeezes through him, and Timonen will play it across to Parent. Ryan Parent, a quick pass to Mike Richards. The Flyers captain gains the red line and bounces it to the left of Fleury. Knuble after taken down by Orpik. Penalty. Flyers will get their first power play of the series. No touch for the Penguins quite yet. They say Gagne in front of Knuble. Save Fleury. And then Orpik does play it a second time and gets the whistle. Crowd doesn't like the call. Flyers are happy with it as they will get a power play.
Mike Knuble getting the job done down low. The Flyers coming with a big forecheck. Yep, that's interference.
Well, what they're saying is that, look, the puck's way in the corner. So Knuble's moving in. Now Orpik, when he found out he got the penalty, he chased the referee all the way to the penalty box. He was hot. Talbot's still talking to the referee about it, saying, well, that shouldn't have been interference because the puck was close enough. Obviously, they're still upset about no call with Matt Cook. As you can see that he did get drilled right in the mouth and the nose area.
I mean, he doesn't play with those white things sticking out of his nostrils all the time.
Not cigarettes.
Walrus impression. No, he got a high lick from Matt Carl.
So we have seen blood. We'll see more of it in these playoffs.
Yes, we will.
You saw the numbers. Good units both ways. 8th best penalty killing unit and a 6th best power play. Flyers were 7 for 28 against the Penguins in the regular season with the power play, so they did some damage. As Carter tried to get that puck back to Carl. Carter, Lupul, Hartnell up front. Here's Carter from the angle. Didn't see a shooting lane and then was checked by Gonchar, and Craig Adams is able to clear. First to the puck will be Maxime Talbot. Carl introduces himself to Talbot, and the Flyers move back. Coburn to Carter, right wing dish, Lupul back to Carter. Quick shot was tipped, dribbles in on Fleury, and then he gets a snow shower from Joffrey Lupul, and the Penguins don't like that very much. Ready, set, grow. Show your Flyer spirit by growing one for the team. The Flyers Beardathon is on. Grow your beard and invite your friends, family, and co-workers to pledge money for your playoff beard. Can't grow a beard? Well, support your favorite Flyers players as they grow their playoff beards. All proceeds benefit Flyers charities. Visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/beard for more information. Steve Coates, representing the broadcasters, has his playoff beard on its way. Point shot right off the draw by Richards, right into the midsection of Fleury.
Fleury's been real sticky. No rebounds for the Flyers. Flyers power play. They will always look to take a quick shot, as Mike Richards just did there.
Well, I'll tell you what, was Hal Gill mad at Lupul? Now, he's 6'8", Hal Gill, so he's going to clear the porch. Lupul, in trying to protect himself, got Gill right in the head with a stick. That really made him a lot madder, Gill. He chased him around a little bit.
Turnover by the Flyers, and here's Cook moving up. Richards took a run at Cook, left Stahl, and fortunately for the Flyers, the puck did not find Stahl. He would have been in on goal. Now it's Gagne sending it deep into the Pittsburgh zone. Briere stabs it around for Gagne, playing his first playoff game in 3 years. Back out Timonen, dropping it off to Briere. Briere has a look all the way across. Richards shot! Fleury got across to make the save. He is so athletic. Quickness probably his best asset. Broken stick. Gill is without a stick. Gagne out to Timonen. Flyers probably want to work the other side of the ice. Gill is on the other side. There's Timonen down low and went off of Richards' skate, and Cook is able to clear. Good idea. Execution wasn't there.
A little bit of confusion. I don't think Mike Richards thought that puck was coming to him. That last save by Fleury, it's part advanced scouting and just part reading the play. The pass from Briere over to Richards.
Hartnell in after the puck. 18 seconds remain on the Philadelphia power play. Gonchar finds a loose puck and bounces it all the way down. Biron kept it away from Talbot, but the puck stayed in the zone, and now Coburn has to get it for Philadelphia as the Penguins set to get back to full strength. Coburn ripping it in. Bounce to the other corner. Eaton there. Ahead. Talbot trying to clear. Couldn't get it past Carter. Hartnell to it. Scott Hartnell. Nice moves in traffic. Knocked down. Gets back up still after the puck bounces off Orpik. He'll skate it up, and he'll get it into the Philadelphia zone. He needs to get off the ice. Biron playing it back into traffic, but the Flyers able to get away with that as Powell will lob it through center. We tick down toward 5 minutes remaining in this first period. Great pace. Lots of animosity. It's playoff hockey. Let's go Pens chant from this sellout crowd. Pens have had 107 consecutive sellouts here at Mellon Arena.
Oh, good little play there by Claude Giroux, going one-on-one in the corner with Sidney Crosby.
A pass up the middle makes its way to Claude Giroux. He was grabbed at by Kunitz. Got away with that one to knock him off the puck. And Guerin will drop to Crosby. Crosby in across the line. Dropping for Guerin. They work a little bit of a pick play. Guerin Engel's shot knocked down by Biron. Played by Parent to the wall, but right there is Letang. Crashed into by Powell. Parent follows up the play, getting to Carcillo. Carcillo will chip into the Pittsburgh zone as the Flyers affect the line change. Big hit on Sikora by Carcillo as the puck goes to center. Timonen winds it back in. Fleury knocking it down, keeping it away from Richards. It's Gonchar to Malkin. Malkin for Sikora, and he'll flip in. Cuts it off. Wasn't quite sure where to go. Finally made the right play, getting it to Gagne. In the middle, Knuble. Knuble looking for Richards. Richards pursued by Gonchar. Got it in front for Knuble. Had a stab at it, but it was poked away. Malkin for Fedotenko. He shuffles it all the way down. Alberts will play.
Flyers are fighting for shots on goal and fighting to try to get to rebounds, but there haven't been many rebounds.
Turnover here. Malkin steals it from Alberts. Got a shot up and ricochets around again. Boy, the Penguins charging the net. Seeing a lot of those pucks just bouncing around off of sticks and skates in front. what happened on their goal. Coburn ahead, misses Hartnell here. This is going to be icing on Philadelphia. Gill for the touch-up. Well, tonight on Sports Night, take a look at the tight ends in this year's draft class. See where the Sixers sit in the playoff race. And the Phils resume their series against the Nationals. Sports Night tonight at 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Of course, we send our best out to the entire Philadelphia Phillies family. And, of course, the family of the late Harry Callis. The legend passed away Monday. Had a chance to get to know him the last couple of years. He's a better man than he was a broadcaster, and he's as good as it got in terms of broadcasting. Chris Letang sending that puck in along behind the net. Here's Stahl. Centering off a stick in front. Cook taken care of. Still nudged one wide, but now it's Kennedy. This line really buzzing. In the slot. Stahl a shot, and Bira able to make the save. Back out it comes Letang. Letang trying to skate the puck in. Marked by Hartnell. Threw it down low. Hopped over Kennedy's stick. Eaton pitches. Gets to Kennedy. And the Flyers to the puck. And over. He's hidden by Cook. Another hits for Matt Cook. Flyers move up now 2-on-1. Knuble the dish to Richards. Richards winds. Looking to get it back. Knuble blocked. Second try also blocked as Eaton laid out and got in the way. Flyers get it back though. Richards. The pass. Now Hartnell in front. And that one off a stick into the safety netting. Hartnell into the goalie. And look out now. Here come all the Penguins after Scotty Hartnell as he collided with Fleury.
I think Scott Hartnell's gone for a goalie interference penalty. That's Don Van Massenhoven delivering the bad news. So Scott Hartnell will have to sit. Matt Cook had to sit after getting his face squashed. Yep, it's going to be that kind of series.
We see Scotty Hartnell in the penalty box. He's going to pick up a goaltender interference call. Now watch, he's going to go right through the goal crease area, and bang, he's going to drill Fleury right into the crossbar, and his momentum will throw him right into the corner with a little help from Letang, and runs right into Van Massenhoven, who tried to get his arm up in the air.
Hartnell led the NHL in minor penalties during the regular season. He already has 2 minors in this game. So, power play number 3 for Pittsburgh. Crosby to the corner, ridden by Timonen. Malkin, important kill for the Flyers. The puck out in front, looking for it. Kunitz flattened it down and got it back to Letang. Dishes down low, and Timonen first tried to clear. That took a strange pop. And a huge hit by Kunitz on Richards, although Richards got the puck all the way down the ice. This Kunitz, big addition for this Penguins team at the trade deadline, along with Billy Guerin.
That crash bang they didn't have.
Crosby takes a hit from Timonen, got the puck back to Gonchar. Now it's Crosby to Kunitz, fanned on the shot, back off Letang, shot blocked. And that will go out to center on its own. Letang dropping to Gonchar. Final minute and 5 seconds of the power play. About 37 remaining in the period. Gonchar will gain the Philadelphia line. And dish for Guerin. Eric and Guerin come together. The puck pops free. Timonen pestered from behind by Malkin, so he could not move the puck. Now it's twisted free to Crosby. Out to Gonchar. Takes the shot. Redirected high and wide by Crosby. That was a slap pass from Gonchar and a beauty. Just went high and wide off Crosby's stick. They had a goal like that against the Flyers earlier this year. It wasn't from Gonchar, but Crosby with a redirection. Now Guerin a shot. Deflection goes wide. Malkin tried to center block. Timonen tries to clear. Gonchar will block it with his skate. And it goes for Malkin. 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Malkin holding on. Saucer pass into the middle, but it snuck through to Knuble, who cleared all the way down.
That was not very Malkin-like. Top assist guy in the NHL. He just kind of flipped that out to right to Mike Knuble.
5 seconds remaining in the power play. Orpik drilling it in. Puck bounces free. Here's Lupul. He's got Hartnell with him as he's out of the box. Lupul up. Lupul with a shot blocked off by Orpik. And Fedotenko back to pick up the loose chain. Backhanded along. Alberts tipped it. Lupul tried to drag it along. Stahl would have none of it, and here he goes the other way. Jordan Stahl with the strength, then the pass attempt deflected away. Lupul has it. Still 10 seconds in the period. His home run pass for Hartnell. Hartnell trying to get there to cancel the icing. He'll take the hit to do just that. Get the puck right to center as he's decked again, and the puck deflects to the boards. And the period ends with some hitting. What else? Mike Richards comes flying in. A heck of a first period in terms of the physical play. And 20 minutes in the books, the Penguins have the 1-0 lead. Sidney Crosby, a dirty but good goal, the only tally of period number 1. Today's first period was brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Geico. Visit geico.com. Here's what's coming up between periods 1 and 2. Coach's Corner, he'll visit with Ray Sherrow, son of legendary Flyers head coach and the current general manager of these Pittsburgh Penguins. We're from Michael Barkan and Al Morgani, the post-game live guys. Plenty of highlights and analysis as well. 1-0 Pens through 20 minutes. Coach's Corner is next. Tonight's second period from Mellon Arena is brought to you by Dodge. Live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge, grab life. And by Virtua, the specialist in top dots.
Pittsburgh Penguins and
plenty of playoff intensity in period number 1. There's your Dodge summary. Just the one goal. Crosby is first for Malkin and Gonchar. The ruling, we have been told by the league, he did get his stick out of it before it went across the line.
take a look at our numbers inside the game. The shots favored the Penguins. For that matter, the entire first period favored the Penguins, except for the hitting department where the Flyers had 15 to the Penguins 10. But very often when you're leading in the hitting department, it's an indication that a lot of the period was played in your end. That was the case. Territorial play belonged to the Penguins. The Flyers have a chance to regroup, only down 1 here going to the second. Only goal scorer Sidney Crosby.
10 playoff goals for Sidney. And you briefly saw the number before that. Flyers, they're used to this position. They have not been ahead after one all that often down the stretch. They've been able to overcome it in many games, and they're going to have to do it here this evening. 20 of the last 24 games, they have been either tied or behind with the 1.
John Stevens said before this game about the series, he said, we have to be good defensively first. And I think that's where the Flyers need to really focus on. They did not control the neutral zone the way they wanted to. Jordan Staal especially got big heads of steam up coming through the neutral. Mike Richards was his feisty best. Had a couple of good shots, dinged one off the post.
Dan Bousman, his first ever playoff game as an NHL head coach. Penguins 18-3-4 under his guidance after placing Michel Therrien. And it was sort of a confluence of things. Bousman took over, changed the atmosphere. They picked up Kunitz and Guerin, and they also got Sergei Gonchar back from the injured list, and all 3 have contributed.
I think the 2 players that benefited the most from Bousman coming in, replacing Michael Therrien, of the goalie Marc-Andre Fleury and the 20-year-old center Jordan Staal. They picked up their games noticeably under Bousman.
Second period underway. Flyers trying to get into some kind of rhythm here. They send out Powell with Knuble and Richards to start. Teaming in. Good to see that he is out there. He was limping through much of that first period. As Parent will get to Knuble. Knuble forced back by Kunitz. Parent takes a hit from Guerin as he spins the puck to the other side of the ice. Powell is there, dropping it to Timonen, and now Parent. Ryan Parent, who got some playoff time in with the Flyers toward the end of their run last year. In fact, it was against Pittsburgh. Ahead, here's Richards with the pass, hits a cutting foul, and he backhanded it wide. It perhaps glanced off of Fleury. Now in front, Fleury with the save on the redirection, and the Penguins move the other way. Cook for Staal. Staal the shot, and that's handled by Biron, and no further play.
But Darryl Powell put up on the line with Mike Richards. and Mike Knuble to start the second period. And that's Darryl Powell's bread and butter move. Pull it to the backhand and try to get to the post with the puck before the goalie can get there.
Well, we're seeing a lot of different line combinations. Now you're seeing Briere come out with Asham and Carter in the middle. So maybe John Stevens, like you had talked about earlier, they're making Bilesville really work at how he's going to match these lines.
Well, that's part of the intrigue of a playoff series, the chess match that goes on and the adjustments that have to be made many times after game one. But John Stevens is not waiting, making his adjustments early on in game one. Turnover here, though, by the Flyers. Flyers trying to get back, at a good play by Carl to break up the Penguins rush. And now the other way, Briere. He's got Giroux with him. Briere trying to get that in front, but Gill snuffed it out. And the veteran defenseman will move it ahead for Cook. Cook takes a hit from Asham, who also got the puck. It bounces back toward Coburn. And he was checked, and it's a 3-on-1 for the Penguins. Kennedy with the puck. Kennedy holds, shot, score! Patience from Tyler Kennedy. And he has his first career playoff goal in style. It's 2-0 Penguins.
Tyler Kennedy didn't get much on this shot. I'm not sure it didn't deflect. It found some daylight, but Tyler Kennedy could afford to be patient because he had two players with him. This may have hit Matt Carl.
It did a little bit off of Matt Carl. Matt Carl tried to stay in between both Cook and Kennedy. As right here, you're going to see him move into the middle, and then he just slips the puck, and Carl kind of jumped in front of Biron right at the last second, and it went right through the 5-hole.
So the task becomes more difficult for the Flyers, down 2. And it was a turnover near the blue line of the offensive zone that led to the difficulty.
By the way, John Stevens had pulled Jeff Carter off quickly after that faceoff to keep him away from Jordan Staal, and Claude Briere had come on the ice. Claude Giroux, at least.
They do look alike. About the same size. There you go. Oh, Albert's sending the puck over here, but he poke checks Guerin, and that causes an offside. Leslie Goodell with a playoff update.
Thank you, JJ. Well, goals everywhere. Hurricanes at the Devils, and an unassisted goal by Mike Mata. This is late in the first. The Devils strike first by taking a 1-0 lead. And then down in D.C., the Rangers at the Capitals. Caps on the power play. Alex Ovechkin putting the Caps on the board first. Power play goal by Ovechkin makes it 1-0 Capitals, but the Rangers answer right back. Scott Gomez follows with the goal as well. So it's all tied up in the nation's capital. JJ, back to you.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. Playoffs underway in earnest. 16 teams. One of them will win 16 times to get the Stanley Cup. Carcillo a shot here off the stick, bounces across to Timonen. He finds Ross. Ross for Carcillo. Carcillo, his first career playoff game, ridden by Mark Eaton. The Flyers getting some help. Powell back along for Parent. Parent, a shot went off the glove of Ross, and then it's corralled by Letang. Not a whole lot of size on the ice for the Flyers. You're talking about Carcillo, Ross, Powell up front. But they were in the offensive zone for most of the shift. There's Timonen. Back for Knuble. He'll let it go to Parent. Ryan Parent. Mike Richards out with his usual line mates. Knuble and Gagne. Richards is checked. Kunitz the steal to Guerin. Guerin trying to set it. That bounces behind the net. Crosby. Richards crashes into him. The puck bounces free and Knuble moves up. He's 1-on-3 at the moment, so from the red line, he's just going to flutter one into the Pittsburgh zone and try to chase. Takes Scuderi into the boards. Gill is there getting it past Gagne out to Crosby on the rush. And it's a 3-on-2 developing, but the pass off the mark. Coburn will steal. Knuble chopping at it. Second crack at it. He softly got it into the Pittsburgh zone, but right back come the Penguins. Kunitz. Poke check by Carl. Hit the other way, but Knuble there to clear.
Well, we talked about the Penguins being more aggressive under Dan Bilesma. They don't give you much time to breathe once you have the puck on your tape.
Brooks Orpik on the red line will wind it in. Biron will stop it. Play it ahead. Briere all the way across Knuble, and now Giroux with speed. Gathers the puck, cuts in, holds, waits for some help. Stahl gets to him. Giroux still controls. Send an aerial across. Briere to it. Back in front. Giroux knocked down. The net off its moorings. No penalty. Oh, Giroux with a scoring chance got knocked down, but Don Van Massenhoven and Mike Hasenfratz say all's cool. Well, Giroux can't understand why.
Speaking of cool, that's the play that Giroux made. Gosh, he had two Penguins on his back as he went into the corner. He was able to spin back. Watch him here, no problem. He had two Penguins to deal with, and he fluttered one through the high slot. See what happens to him. Yeah, it sure looked like he was getting at least torqued by Sergei Gonchar from behind.
Marc-Andre Fleury got a piece of him too after the play was over. A little blocker to the face. That has to feel great.
Not so much.
Penguins move the puck out to the red line, and Randy Jones is right there. Across to Andrew Alberts. Briere playing without a helmet. And Malkin stepping away from it. Check reaching for that puck, but the Flyers swarm upon him. And now a penalty's called. Mike Hasenfratz says that is tripping. Claude Giroux wonders where that call was at the other end of the ice. It's Alberts who goes to the box, and a fourth power play for the Penguins already.
Well, Malkin's so tough. He's a big man. But right here, he's just going to get to the blue line. Now, right here, Alberts gets the stick right up in to the belly. That's where you cause your problem. They're going to call it tripping. That could be called hooking, too. But the sad news is the Flyers once again have to kill off a penalty.
The one thing they can't let happen in this series, and it's not just because the Penguins' power play is potent, because if you're in a close game near the end of regulation or even in overtime, Mike Richards and Jeff Carter both kill a lot of penalties. Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin do not. Talk about fuel. Yeah, talk about fuel in the tank.
Do the math right there. Wear and tear. Gagne and Richards out up front to start the penalty kill. Here is Letang. Dishes to Crosby. His pass off of Tiemann across to Malkin. Evgeny Malkin. The pass Tiemann in good read. Tipped it away, but then Malkin gets it back with help from Crosby. Crosby jabbing it along the boards, racing over after it. Gagne turns and clears, but Gonchar deftly knocking that one down. He's already had 3 or 4 great knockdowns, most of them at the line, of course. This one in center, but it still saved the Penguins a lot of time, and here they come, right back to work. Crosby. Letang, he could not keep it in the zone.
One thing about this power play for the Penguins, and Billy Beach has mentioned it many times about how important Gonchar is. He'll go up and down the blue line, the full width of the ice, 85 feet, usually the full blue line. Doesn't matter, left side, right side, he's all over the place.
A lot of times he has to, because Chris Letang, who has the puck right now, drifts all the way in. Look where Letang is.
So Billy Guerin has dropped back. Flyers come away with the puck. Jones moving up. Hartnell joining. This is a 3-on-2 with the forward being back. Flyers will try to make something of it. Hartnell all the way across. Carter backhands in front. Jones going to the net, but it deflected on through. And now the other way come the Penguins. Malkin roaring out to center ice. Malkin in a cross. Dances down to the circle and then turns back with it, but no one home for the Penguins. That'll go to center. Carter reaching for it, but the Penguins there, and Carter got a piece of Orpik's hand, and he takes the glove off in pain. No penalty there. Knuble ramming it off the glass and all the way down. 18 seconds left in the power play. We're almost 7 minutes into the second period. Flyers still looking for the first shot on goal of the period. Here is Knuble. Now behind, got through Guerin to Coburn. Coburn turned back by Guerin. Now we'll try the other side and find Knuble. Fires back to full strength. Knuble moves in, gives to Giroux. Giroux a quick shot, deflects. Knuble could not come up with it. Eaton does. And ahead it goes to Stahl. Jordan Stahl making the inside-outside move. Carl trying to stay with him. Stahl fights it off, centered it, and Sikora whiffed. What a setup by Stahl. Big hit now as Craig Adams barrels into Knuble. Now Stahl will ram Knuble. And now it's Adams on Carl, and the hits keep coming for the Penguins, and they're working that puck free as well. Stahl in the corner, back out. Scuderi. Or Adams, the shot in the slot went up, a skate save, Biron. Stahl reaching for the second rebound, couldn't get it. Biron had to be good to make the first save.
And good coverage by Danny Briere down low, helping Biron out.
Well, the Penguins nearly make it 3-0. Now the Flyers get the puck into the Pittsburgh zone. Giroux and Briere in the corner doing the work. Puck bounces out in the slot. Lupul there. But the Penguins move it ahead, and out to center it goes. Crowd fully involved in this one. Why wouldn't they be? Team with a 2-0 lead, a 16-9 shot advantage, and they are swarming.
Well, the fact that the Penguins are really bringing the hitting game to the Flyers, too, is really keeping this crowd alive.
Kennedy with a steal. The Flyers cough it up in their zone. Miron will try the other side. He's got Carcillo. Carcillo is rammed into by Gonchar. That puck deflects down into the Pittsburgh zone. Gonchar didn't get all of them there. More of a glancing blow. Carcillo. A hit on Orpik. The puck ahead off of Talbot into the Philadelphia zone.
Dan Carcillo has to be thankful that wasn't Brooks Orpik coming at him.
Andy Jones trying to step out from behind his own net. Got it to Lupul. Cook stuck the leg out a little on Lupul. Not a lot of contact as that puck rolled free. Here's Crosby with speed in across the Philadelphia line. Inside, outside. Albert's got a piece of him. Crosby with a pass behind the net for Cook. Orpik back for Cook. Instead it'll be Crosby. Makes the maneuver out of the corner. It's it back for Orpik, and now across ice. Gonchar shot one off a stick wide. Caught the safety netting. No one saw it. And so play carries on. Asham to Powell. Powell gains the line. A wrist shot is blocked. They get to it on the other side and roll it behind the net so the Flyers can change. We approach the midpoint of regulation time. The crowd here at Mellon Arena very happy. This has gone exactly as the Penguins would have liked. They have a 2-0 lead, and they are playing well. Parrott ahead for Asham, and he gives to Richards. Richards swings wide, turns back. Got a cute little pass for Timonen. Penguins would have none of that. It's Fedotenko the other way. Fedotenko looking for Malkin. Richards gets a piece of him. Timonen to the puck. Timonen up the boards, knocked down by Sikora. He's in bumped by Richards, and the Flyers clear it down the ice.
Well, they sat Goddard out, their tough guy. He was actually voted Players' Player this year, but they came back with Craig Adams. He was the one that started that whole flurry of body checks. Just an energy guy, great skater, and he's in the lineup for that very reason.
He's also a guy that can kill penalties, so he gives them depth there, too.
One of three former Stanley Cup winners the Penguins acquired at the deadline, along with Kunitz and Guerin. Foul back here, and icing is the call. Well, the Stanley Cup playoffs are on Versus. Don't miss a single second. Side with the Flyers. Side with the Flyers playing. Of course, check TV listings or Versus.com for full schedule. Best sports tournament around, the Stanley Cup playoffs. First round especially built. Everyone's fresh, ready to go. Usually produces some spectacular stuff.
Well, you got great games every night to watch.
That shot from Coburn deflected and fluttered behind the Pittsburgh net. Flyers still looking for shot number one of this second period. Mark Eaton, Wilmington, Delaware native, with a pass to Chris Letang, and the diminutive defenseman sails one in. Coburn wrapped up with Guerin. Asham is there ahead. Gill trying to use his reach to keep it in his zone, could not. And offside is called. 9:03 to go in period number 2.
The Penguins lead the Philadelphia Flyers halfway through this hockey game. Plenty of time, and the Flyers are going to look for that scoring balance that they have looked to all year for their success. You've got 4 players with 30 goals or more and 6 players with 25 goals or more. So obviously, right there, they're the numbers. That pretty well tells you the tale that this team can't score goals. So we got a half a hockey game to go. Plenty of time to get those guys moving.
First time since the 93-94 season an NHL team has had 6 25-goal scorers. First time the Flyers have ever done it. So it is balanced. The Penguins have balance of a different kind. 15 players in double figures in goals. More players, not quite as many goals. Either way, you're talking about 2 teams with firepower. And as Chris mentioned, Flyers are going to need theirs here. The turnovers in the neutral zone, Bill, are becoming a problem, and it has to do with that checking from the Penguins.
Well, the one thing that could get the Flyers back in this game quickly is a couple of power plays. For that to happen, the Flyers have to play in the Penguin zone. You wear a team down, tire people out, they're going to grab you or hook you or trip you.
There's Kennedy moving in. His shot. Save made by Miron, and he'll cover up in front of him. Well, this week's featured Comcast Business Class Company of the Week is Ramsey's Automotive Best in Car.
Tonight's attendance, 17,132. A complete standing room only sellout.
I'd have to stop by Ramsey's myself.
Consecutive sellout.
Issue with my automobiles.
Thank you for attending.
I hope they were listening. They'll have the red carpet hoist waiting for you.
Oh yeah, I'll take that. A little conversation over by the Flyers benches. Keeping Francis over there.
Keeping Braden Coburn off. Looked like John Stevens wanted to send him out.
You know, Timonen sending that one ahead. Knuble waiting for it to get to him, and fortunately, as he did, Crosby also got there and takes it away. Pass across ice. Aaron reaching back, and they get to it. Kunitz bearing it on him, but Aaron changes direction to avoid the check, but then turned it over. Here's Orpik, a shot blocked by Richards. And Gagne to the carom, had trouble controlling his pass, gathered by Knuble, and now Richards. He'll wind and fire right into the shin pad of Orpik as he went to a knee to block the shot. 7:48 to go in the second. Penguins still leading by 2. Well, this is game 1 between the Flyers and Pens, and when you look at the importance of game 1, 2/3 of the teams over the last 10 years that win game 1 win the series. 12 of 15 last year. The Flyers lost game 1 in each of their 3 series last year. Came back to win 2 of them, so it can be done. But as you see there at the bottom, much more likely to win the series if you win the first one. You know, Timonen during the break was testing out his leg as he blocked that shot early in this game, and that one ricochets in on Fleury as Powell sent it toward the net, went off a Penguin skate, and Fleury had to make the save. That is credited as the first shot of the period for the Flyers. There's Kimo.
He's come out even when it wasn't his turn to take a shift. Come out and looked like he was bending both legs, trying to get him loosened up. He took a couple of hits, one against the boards, and he also blocked a shot in the first period and limped off both times.
Of course, we've seen Kimo limp off the ice a lot this year. He just keeps on going. He's a warrior. Last year, of course, had the problem with the blood clot, which forced him to miss all but the final game of the series between the Flyers and Pens. Well, that's us at the top of the screen, along with our great crew here from Mellon Arena. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals between the Flyers and the Penguins. Glad you could join us here on Comcast Sportsnet in high definition. We're available. Watch the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Penguins fans about 2 months ago thought perhaps their team wasn't even going to make the playoffs. Now here they are, a 4th seed, opening at home.
John Stevens knows this is a different team.
Flyers played the Penguins twice after the coaching change, but one of them was just 3 games after the change. Not much had taken effect. Actually gave the Penguins their only regulation loss here at Mellon Arena under Dan Bylsma when they came in here and won 3-1 in March.
But the Penguins on the 18th of February were in 10th place in the Eastern Conference and were 6 points out of a playoff spot.
End up in 4th. Dumped in here. This would be icing unless Richards can get to it. They say Gonchar got there first, and so it is icing. This off back to the Philadelphia zone.
Mike Richards is still arguing this call. He thought he got to it first.
That's a defensive period.
Yeah, it's not bad, lads. I said, and I believe this, the Flyers need to start building their game plan with really tight team defense against the Pittsburgh Penguins and then wait for their opportunities. We'll say this, the Flyers need the next goal in this hockey game.
They get it, and they're right back within 1, and Penguins could have some concern, lose a little of their swagger. Otherwise, they fall 3 goals down, and you have a mountain. So, absolutely. Huge next goal. Here's Crosby stopping the puck for Gonchar. He'll backhand in, and Timonen's back to control for Philadelphia.
Flyers disrupting in the neutral zone now. See, Sidney Crosby had no room. They just had to chip it in, and the Flyers were able to get it and come back. But then the Flyers turned it over. Then the Penguins turned it over. Here we go.
Good checking both ways. Here's Briere moving in. He'll turn and just rip one in. Fleury boxes that one around a little. Able to corral, and then, of course, a whistle. Especially a whistle caused by a cover-up by a goalie, and you get pushing and shoving. Well, the Flyers are hungry for more playoffs. They come home to take on these Penguins Sunday, April the 19th, a 3 o'clock start, and then Tuesday game 4 is the 21st. 7 o'clock. Don't miss any of the Flyers hockey action as they battle their cross-state rivals. Call 215-218-PUCK or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
This last play looked kind of innocent. Marc-Andre Fleury was able to control the rebound, but the Penguins have done a great job, just as Brooks Orpik is doing right here to Mike Richards, of boxing the Flyers out. Fleury has not left any rebounds, I don't believe. And if they do suddenly show up for the Flyers, the Orange and Black are still going to have to fight their way through what looks like a very determined group of Penguins defensemen to protect Fleury.
Right now the Flyers trying to be determined in their own zone themselves and get the puck out to center, but it's Eaton. Finally stopped by Asham, who tosses it down the ice. Eaton goes back to get it. Former Flyer. A fan growing up down in Wilmington. Here's the puck ahead, and Fedotenko will wind it into the Philadelphia zone. Carl worked on by Sikora. Knuble there, headmanning to Giroux. Giroux will bank it ahead, but right there is Letang. Letang run into by Asham as the puck goes deep into the Philadelphia zone for Coburn. To Carl, and now Knuble. His left wing feed for Asham. He's just going to swing the puck deep and chase, but Al Gill is right there. Bruin and Leaf got the puck ahead. It's kept in by Carter, but right to Gill. He'll move it ahead to Cook. Cook for Stahl. And Stahl will flip and chase, and there goes Kennedy looking for Stahl, but Alberts cuts it off. Good defensive play both ways, and Carter will move up. Jeff Carter with some room for a moment, and his shot blocked aside as that room dissipated in a hurry. It's found back by Lupo. His centering pass tipped away, and down the ice it goes.
About halfway through the year, the Penguins were really struggling under Michel Therrien, so they came in and actually trapped. Didn't even pursue the puck, which is very unlike them because they got such firepower. This is exactly opposite. This is a swarming hockey team here tonight at both ends of the ice. Flyers have nowhere to go.
And the Penguins have the skating ability to play this kind of style.
And the depth to not get fatigued with it as Jones goes back. This will be icing, so the faceoff back into the Pittsburgh zone. Now is the time to reserve your 2009-2010 season tickets. Guarantee yourself playoff tickets for every game and then enjoy some of the great season ticket holder benefits, including significant discounts from box office pricing. You can also meet your favorite players, have exclusive VIP experiences. Call 215-218-PUCK or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Can't wait to see the atmosphere back in Philadelphia when the series resumes Sunday afternoon. Flyers hoping to have at least one win under their belt. With the minimal split here in Pittsburgh. They're going to get their win here tonight. They've got to come from behind, and as Bill Clement said, start establishing some offensive zone time.
But they've established a defensive play. This was a Penguins breakout, and look who's got the puck now. So the Flyers are settling down and starting to control the rush that the Penguins love to throw at them.
So there he submarines Powell, getting the rise from the crowd. The puck out toward the slot. Coburn keeps it in. A wrist shot. Bounced wide. Got into. They tried to ram it in front of Carcillo, but it was blocked. And set out to center by Matt Cook. Coburn back to retrieve. Less than 4 minutes in the second period. Carcillo for Powell. Powell, wrist shot. Stick saved by Fleury. All the way out to Jared Ross. He took his eye up just to reach back, and then he does get a true skid area to Carcillo. Carcillo tried to carry the puck off the wall. He's checked. Now Briere just from the bench. Briere tried to go across ice, but Parent punted out to center ice by Pascal Dupuis. Teeman in there. He rips one back in as the Flyers complete the change. That one lofted ahead to Dupuis. Dupuis in the middle. Now the shot by Craig Adams goes off the stick, bounces back out in front, and Adams with his speed and hustle kept it alive. Talbot bumped by Parent, but there's Craig Adams again. In the Stanley Cup with Carolina. Checked here though. Flyers get to it. Briere looking for Gagne. Going off his stick. Gagne will follow Gonchar into the corner. Richards joins the scrum for the puck, but coming away with it is Talbot. He's checked. Gagne sweeping it to the other corner, but right there is Orpik. And Brooks Orpik. Throw it ahead and down into Philadelphia ice. Coburn back. And Carl will drop to Braden Coburn. Quickly moving period, just 2:35 remaining. Still a paucity of shots, too. 3 for the Penguins and 4 for the Flyers. Been a while for the Penguins now in terms of a shot on goal. There's Fleury. Back to Letang, and now ahead for Kunitz. He gets to Crosby. Crosby dropping it back. Guerin, quick shot, lances off there on wide. Boy, Guerin can fire the puck. Always has been able to do that. Here's Crosby muscling his way in front. Turns backhander, save Biron, and he's got it. Despite the fact that Guerin and Kunitz were in the neighborhood, Crosby denied. Flyers still within 2.
Net newsroom update from the Rangers-Capitals game. Late in the second, Rangers with the 3-1 lead, but Nicholas Backstrom with a nice pass to Victor Kozlov pulls the Caps within 1. 3 goals in the final 4 minutes of the second period. Exciting game down in D.C. Let's go back to Jim Jackson.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. 7-2 matchup. A lot of people give the Rangers a real shot in that one, including Mr. Bill Clement.
Well, they have a chance to win. They're decided underdogs, but the one guy that has to be a star of the series for them to win can be, and that's Henrik Lundqvist. They've got better goaltending than Washington.
Goaltending so important this time of the year. Lupa will backhand this one down the ice. They wave icing off. Gill leave it there for Scuderi. Final 2 minutes of this second stanza. And the Penguins misfiring on a pass. This will be icing. Carl back for the touch-up. Well, after the game, Michael Barkan, Al Morganti, Coetzee break down game 1 versus the Penguins. Plus John Vorik is in Pittsburgh with player reactions on Dodge Presents Flyers post-game live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Post-game show is very interesting in the playoffs. All the analysis. And that's the thing about the playoffs. Any play could be the key play, not only in the game, but in the series. So you analyze everything. And of course, you hear the post-game press conferences as well as part of the post-game show. Parent with a hit there on Tyler Kennedy. Kennedy gets back up. Puck comes out to Timonen, calmly ahead for Briere.
Little tweak here to try to generate some offense by John Stevens, putting Briere up with Mike Richards and Simon Gagne.
Briere having his hands full trying to get that puck to center. It finally does squeeze through the neutral zone. Nice play from Gagne to Briere, leaving it off for Richards. Richards trying to get it back to Gagne off the skate. Gagne turnaround shot. That one off Orpik and wide. Teaming in for Richards, knocks it down with his leg. Tries to get away from Gonchar. A little bit of a hold there, but not called. Puck back to Timonen. He'll float one in front. They jam for it. Richards, a shot blocked. Off of Cook, not out of the zone. Timonen will send it in along the wall. There's Briere. Trying to center, but that one wound up going to the corner. Down went Orpik as Gagne, and he came together. Gagne to the puck, to the slot. Quick shot, save, Fleury, rebound. Richards digging for it. It was loose, but jammed out of harm's way. Coburn for Richards. Good pressure from the Flyers here in the final minute of the period, but the puck finally bouncing free to Orpik. And he will move it through center and down into the Philadelphia zone. Hart will try to check, got knocked down himself, but now he has the puck and finds Lupul. Lupul cutting on in, did not get a shot off. And then he's hammered by Orpik. Puck free though. Shot in front. Hartnell went off of Lupul and wide. Penalty upcoming on Pittsburgh. 11 seconds remaining in the period, and Van Massenhoven is called elbowing, and the Flyers will get a power play.
But this is how you generate attack and end up on the power play. This was the best minute and a half of the hockey game so far for the Flyers.
Minor penalty. Elbowing.
Elbow on Brooks Orpik, but the Flyers had just about 90 seconds of play in the Penguin zone.
Well, let's take a look at our Wachovia great check of tonight's game. It's a new father. As Kunitz is going to take out Mike Richards pretty good. Right along the wall here, you can see that it was a clean check. He had the shoulder down. Kunitz, wife, had a baby this morning named Zachary James, if I'm not mistaken, Jimmy.
Zachary James, born 9/41 this morning. 9 pounds, 2 ounces, 21.5 inches long. And I'll tell you what, have a baby boy and you're on the ice surface playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs less than 12 hours later. That's a full day.
You won't even recognize the kid by the time you see him tonight. They changed that quickly.
At that age. Flyers trying to do something off of this faceoff. Giroux behind the net with a pass. The shot. Carl bounced in on Fleury, made the save, rebound, and it went off of something wide. And it's clear that'll end the period. Flyers will have a fresh sheet of ice. And a minute and 48 seconds of power play time to work with to start the third period as they leave the second stanza down 2-0.
But a strong finish and something to build on. The Flyers first stabilized defensively in that period. I don't think you called Evgeny Malkin's name once, and I'm not even sure he played that much. Didn't see him that much, but even if he had been on the ice a lot, the Flyers controlled the neutral zone, and the last couple of minutes were able to play mostly in the Penguin zone. But I don't remember Malkin's name much.
No, I have not mentioned him hardly at all in this second period. Speaking of this second period, it was brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. When you have the most preferred health plan in the region, you'll never feel alone. And by your Quality Plus Ford dealers. Here's what we have in store for you between periods 2 and 3. Michael Barkan, Al Morgani with updates from around the National Hockey League on this, the first night of these 2009 Stanley Cup playoffs. They'll also analyze this one. Bill and I will have our say as well. 2-0 Pittsburgh through 40 minutes. Back with more after these messages.
Penguins 2, Flyers no score as we await the start of third period action here at Mellon Arena. We do know this for sure. We'll all be back here for game 2 of this series on Friday night. Flyers and Penguins, part 2, all over again. One team will have the chance to take a 2-0 lead in this series. Which will it be? Flyers Penguins game 2 Friday night 7 o'clock right here on Comcast Sportsnet in high definition where available. And welcome back, Bill. The first period really was all Pittsburgh. The second period, Flyers seemed to make some adjustments and settled things down a little bit and got things back to where they wanted it.
Well, they found themselves defensively. That's what John Stevens wanted the Flyers to do to start the game, to control the neutral zone. And when the Flyers started to do that, they disrupted everything the Penguins wanted to do. Then the Flyers started to play more in the Penguin zone. The only thing that was missing in that period was a goal at the end of it, but they get to start the third with a power play. But the Flyers really started playing the game they wanted to play in the second, not in the first.
And they'll be looking for goals from people like Jeff Carter. And Bill, you come to the playoffs, different challenges await you.
I think this is a real big challenge for Jeff Carter, and it's a physical challenge. He is going to have to be more physical than he's ever been before. Hal Gill, big number 2 at 6'7" for the Penguins, matched against him. Gave him a rough ride on this play. And if it's not Gill, watch on the left of your screen. Jordan Staal timed it perfectly. So Staal is always shadowing Jeff Carter. Staal is a monster size-wise. So is Hal Gill. Jeff Carter is going to have to commit to really using his body probably more than he ever has in his career.
Always have to raise it up another level come the postseason. For the Penguins, they did get the only goal of that second period as Tyler Kennedy tasted postseason goal-scoring success for the first time in his career. Third period after this.
Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Jaguar. Visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the thrilling performance of the new 510 horsepower Jaguar XFR. Also brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians. Every day must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. Dodge summary, just one goal again. And again, it was Pittsburgh. Tyler Kennedy from Staal early on in that second period, giving Pittsburgh the 2-0 lead.
We go inside the game presented by Dodge. The hits. This is a series for men. It will be black and blue. 26 hits for the Flyers, 26 for the Penguins. Right now, the Penguins with 4 power plays. The Flyers are 0 for 1 on theirs, but continuing on the power play here with a minute and 48 seconds to go. Tyler Kennedy, one of the smallest guys in this series, but will always throw his weight around.
How about the goalie matchup, Bill? We're always focusing on the tenders. Traffic clearly has been part of the MO for both clubs.
Now the NHL is really going to take care of the goalies in the playoffs. There was a memo circulated telling all of the teams that goalie interference, taking advantage of goaltenders in their space, will not be tolerated. And you saw that Scott Hartnell in the first period got called on one.
Saw those numbers from Marty Mira all last year when the Flyers lost game 1 3 straight times. In fact, going back, they've lost 5 consecutive games won, I guess you'd say. And Andre Fleury been good game 1, at least at home. The Flyers very much in this game. As Bill mentioned, this power play to start the third period. 1:48 remaining on the Orpik penalty. Coachy, big opportunity.
Well, you got to come after this guy, Fleury. Now, Fleury is a guy that obviously is maturing now. But I think they rushed him. When they brought him in as an 18-year-old, the #1 pick, they figured, okay, they'll just throw him right in the net. It doesn't work like that with especially young goalies. But now he's growing up. He's maturing, and he's getting better and better. But the bottom line is you got to shoot the puck. You got to get pucks on him.
They'll try to do just that with the man advantage here, but a pass from Richards intercepted and cleared all the way down by Scuderi. Barron hit the back of the net for that pass attempt. Richards ahead. Gagne in heavy traffic. It bounces free.
You see the Penguins pressing even when they're down a man.
Now Briere enters the zone to Gagne. Quick pass. Richards shot off the post again. Second time in the game, Richards has found iron. You just think about it. They both go in. This is a tie hockey game. Crowd still oohing because that one was heard throughout Mellon Arena. Timonen from the red line. Dumps and Knuble chases. Brown through Gagne all the way out. Timonen cannot keep it in. Kimo has taken a shot off the leg. He's also been hit and seemed to torque his leg. Does not seem to be moving as well as he normally does. Here's Richards moving up. Richards gains the line and then drops it back. Carl for Carter. Carter, quick shot. Save, Fleury, rebound, Lupo. Save, and then the third carom goes to Gonchar, who got it past Carl and down the ice.
First time we've seen Jeff Carter in the position to unleash that terrific wrist shot of his, and one of the few shots that Fleury couldn't control a rebound on.
Here he comes again, and there it is again. Fleury the save, rebound again. He struggled with it, but Penguins stay with the puck, and Dupuis clears all the way down.
He had a couple of big saves there by Fleury as Jeff Carter had the opportunity to let that quick wrist shot go. Give Lupul a lot of credit. He had to wait for that puck that was way in the air to be able to hit the ice, and he whacked it simultaneously. Great hand-eye coordination by Joffrey Lupul.
Power play is over. Penguins moving up, and they'll just bounce one into the Philadelphia zone. Well, unsuccessful the power play in terms of getting a goal, but it was a well-orchestrated power play. Scoring chances, hit a post, just didn't go in. Just lacking the finish. Here's Giroux. Giroux set it in front, cut off by Kunitz, but right back to Giroux for a shot. That's batted away in front. They were hoping for a deflection there from Powell. Didn't get it. Crosby turns it over. As Giroux to the corner, wrapped up by Kunitz. Stays with it, taken down by Kunitz. In comes Powell. He's got an arm around his neck from Eaton. His helmet pops off. And the puck ahead to Crosby, who rifles it across for Letang. I think Chris Letang. Scott Hartnell's going to visit the sin bin again, perhaps. Crosby's shot, save made, Mira, and now the penalty will be called as Parent gets to it. Letang banged up on the check by Hartnell that will send him to the penalty box for the third time in this game.
Boy, Letang was very slow to get up. Now look, he's going to come right here. Hartnell comes in, gets that left leg out, got the stick up. So take your pick. But I think Letang probably from that left leg gets out. When you get knee to knee, anything can happen. Letang got back to the box. But Hartnell right there, you just can't stick your leg out like that.
No, when you're coming at a player at that speed and he is coming fast at you, you've got no choice but to do that. That is why you always have to try to find the right angle to go and get him, not head on.
So, power play number 5 for the Penguins, and the near must kill for Philadelphia. The tank staying right on the ice, so he is obviously okay. Guerin firing that across ice off Timonen stick and then out of play. So, face off 8 seconds into the man advantage.
John Stevens has tinkered with the lines, trying different things. Flyers found their defensive game in the second period. Evgeny Malkin only played 5 minutes in that second period. He is below his usual ice time right now. The Penguins haven't needed his offense yet.
Barely had the puck the entire period. I mean, I can't remember calling his name much after 10-minute mark or so. But Might hear his name now with his power play in effect. Gonchar, and there he is. Malkin. For Crosby. Out to Gonchar. Fakes the shot. Across for Letang, and now Gonchar, the one-timer. Save Biron the rebound. I think Biron got a piece of that as well, as Malkin was lurking, and here's Powell the other way with speed. 1-on-2 though. Takes the wrister. Fended off by Fleury and played by Gonchar. His pass here is off the mark. Richards with a steal, and he gets control of it. Makes the deke and then flails away to the corner of the Pittsburgh zone. 45 seconds into this Penguins man advantage. Here's Gonchar. It's there underneath it. He dumps it in. Richards given tons of space here as the Penguins peel back. They were offside, so they have to regain the line. Gives Richards all kinds of time, and he takes all of it. And then sends a bouncer into the Pittsburgh zone. So far, so good on the penalty kill. Just the one chance as Gonchar moves up.
Boy, Sergei Gonchar has made more bad passes in this game than I've seen him make in a month.
That's because we talked him up.
I guess.
We jinxed him.
The Jackson jinx.
Or the Clement curse. I'm not sure which.
I'll talk about him in the open again on Friday.
The Coatsy curse. That's right. He's all banged up already, and Gonchar's giving the puck away a lot. Here's Jordan Staal. Staal twisting and turning. Back in along. They try to get it in front for Staal. Ends up pinned at the side of the net by Biron. We'll get a face-off. Just 9 seconds remaining in the Pittsburgh power play. Well, catch all of the exciting Flyers hockey action from a lower-level seat with a group of your friends, family, or coworkers. Flyers single-event suites include a private bar, waitstaff, private restroom. Secure your suite now to any of the Flyers Round 1 playoff games as they take on these Penguins at the Wachovia Center beginning Sunday at 3 o'clock, Tuesday at 7 for games 3 and 4. Call 215-389-9500 or visit mypremiumtix.com. It's a great way to take in a game. Great view. Kennedy around for Talbot, angle drive, and the save made by Biron. That was actually Fedotenko, 26, not 25, with that shot. Biron made the save, and now the puck ahead to Hartnell as he has exited the penalty box. Hartnell worked on by Orpik, stayed with it, around behind for Carter. Carter in front, Hartnell checked from behind by Kennedy. Seen that so many times, the active sticks of the Penguins defensively. Now this is Talbot trying to knife his way in, but could not. Coburn ties him up and plays the puck ahead nicely to Lupul. He bounces one out to the neutral zone, caught up to by Hartnell. Now the right wing feed, Carter with a step, quick shot, save for a rebound, chopped dead. And bounces to the corner, Carter has it. But his pass is knocked down. And the Penguins move back with it. Kennedy will play it in as the Penguins need a change.
Boy, Jeff Carter has come alive here in the third period. 3 good shots. Played 3 minutes and change in the second period, and through 2 he only had 10 minutes of ice time, way off his total average.
Briere worked over by Cook. Richards in but could not move the puck ahead. Briere will sweep it to Timonen. I should say Biron will sweep it to Timonen. Now puck hit with a high stick but played by the Flyers, so no whistle. And Malkin will find Hal Gill. We hit the 6-minute mark of this third period. Here's Cook. Winds, fires, blocked off by Parent. Parent then checked by Dupuis, who was hit by Richards. And Briere to the loose disc. Briere for Gagne. Gagne fires from center off a stick, high up into the safety netting, and play is stopped. We'll step aside. It's still the Penguins by 2.
Leslie Goodell back in our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Back to Washington, D.C., where it's goals aplenty for the Rangers and Capitals. Early in the third, Alexander Ovechkin puts it on goal. Alexander Semin puts home the rebound. Ovechkin with 2 assists in this one. The Rangers and Capitals knotted at 3 in the third. JJ?
All right, Leslie. You can only imagine how loud Verizon Center is in downtown Washington as the Caps have come back to tie that one.
Down 3-1 for the team that can't score.
Coburn hit Kadubel with his dump in. Sidney Crosby was talking today about the loudest buildings in terms of their showing their displeasure with him. Oh, turnover, Malkin scores! Evgeny Malkin gets a gift, and the Penguins are now up 3-0.
Well, there is being handcuffed, and then there's what happened to Marty Biron on this play. The puck looked like it was going to go behind the net, and that's what the intention was. Instead, it hit the boards, came out and hit the hoop on the back of the net, and bounced out at such an angle. Watch this. That Marty Biron couldn't get to it.
That's a flat-out gift. Knuble tries to back that right off. You see what happens? He wants it to actually go to the other side of the net. As you said, Billy, it hits the side of the net. Marty Biron is the most surprised person in the building, and the puck comes right off the side of the net to the worst guy in the world, the leading scorer in the league, Evgeny Malkin. Wide open net, 3-0 hockey game.
It's amazing. Flyers have done a great job over the last period and a half on Malkin, but he gets a goal anyhow. Carter trying to dance in. Now Gill with it, the right wing feed for Kennedy, reaching back, drags it in across the line, double clutches, takes the shot. Biron able to smother that one, gets a bump from Stahl, who then is deposited on the ice.
By Andrew Alberts. Evgeny Malkin was quiet in the second period. He picked up an assist on the first goal, then was completely quiet in the second period. He has just been heard from.
Take a look at the scouting report. Yeah, impressive skill set. This guy is a big man. Look at what they say about the long reach, but he just flies. And you say that we didn't hear his name very much. I don't think we heard his name after Alberts pulled him down at the blue line, guys.
Well, he certainly wasn't a factor when he was on the ice, but he's a factor now with a goal. And the Penguins up 3, and he's hearing MVP chants from the pro-Penguins crowd here. Alexander Ovechkin would have something to say about that. Here's Timonen in along. Gagne finds Richards. Shot in that one. Got caught up. Ended up going to the other corner. Richards has had his chances in this one. Briere with a shot block gets it back. Shuffles to Richards. Richards holds in front. And that one bounces free to Orpik.
Lots of sharp angle stuff. Really been tough for the Flyers to get much attack from the middle on Fleury.
Rangers, Caps tied in 3, upper right-hand corner of your screen. You're seeing scores from elsewhere in the playoffs. Later on, St. Louis and Vancouver open their series. Great story, St. Louis making the playoffs after having all those injuries. Carcillo had Asham a shot. That's muffled. Broken stick in the process from Eaton as he blocked that shot. So he's out there without a stick right now. As Ross moves in, a shot. Juggling save made by Fleury. And he'll squeeze it.
Boy, that was a great shot by Jared Ross. Now, it's a left-hand shot. He's coming from below the goal line. Fleury, remember, he's a butterflyer. So what he's going to try to do is he's going to go down to the butterfly. But watch where Ross is trying to go. He's going to try to go right up over the shoulder of Fleury. Fleury reacts, gets him right in the chest. But that's a smart play by Ross because he's expecting Fleury to go down the butterfly. The only way you're going to score there is by going upstairs.
Yeah, and Cote was looking for somebody in the middle, but the Penguins have just been able to lock up the middle. The last 4 scoring chances from the Flyers in the last couple of minutes have all come from really sharp angles.
And you almost argue so did the Penguins. It bounced off the side of the net out in front. Became a good angle shot for Evgeny Malkin, but that was just one of those things you have to fight through. Here's Dupuis stepping on in, backhander. It takes a peek, but he's got it. Pascal Dupuis showing his speed as he knifed on in.
Well, no doubt it's a game of bounces. The first bounce of the game went right to the Penguins when Sidney Crosby scored. The last goal by Evgeny Malkin was a bounce that went the Flyers' way, but it's so unlike Mike Knuble to make that play and to miss by that much.
And you factor in the 2 posts for Mike Richards, and you see that fine line. Pascal Dupuis, part of the tremendous depth these Penguins have. He was throwing in the Hossa deal, and he ended up here longer than Hossa. He serves a role for this team.
Don't tell him that.
He thought it was for him. There's Lupa with a pass ahead. He's got Carter, and now Hartnell. Wines, fire, save, rebound. Carter kept it free. Great stick save by Fleury. Fleury reaching back, robbed Carter. Kennedy the other way. He loses it to Hartnell. Hartnell in across the Penguins line, makes the move, cuts on in, and then try to pass, but Penguins played out 2 of them to get in the way.
Jeff Carter, though, is so much more assertive physically. He was hacking and whacking right there in the corner.
Back come the Penguins. Kennedy trying for Stahl. No, sir. Flyers right back the other way. Hartnell At the line, looks for Carter's got him. Carter's shot, and that's blocked off by Orpik. Bounces to Carl, back to Carter. Carter checked by Gonchar, who takes the puck away. Flipped it. Hartnell tried to keep it in, but could not. Penguins move ahead. Fedotenko to Malkin. Malkin, they call him Gino. Comes to a stop. Staying with him was Perrin, and then Hartnell bumps him, but puck picked up. Shot Sikora fought off by Biron. Now it's Knuble for Hartnell. He'll softly play a bouncer to the right of Fleury. Knuble's after it and gets a piece of Orpik on his way in. Sikora to center. Teaming to get a stick at it, but the Penguins move it ahead. Here's Malkin over skating. Knuble there looking for Giroux. He stumbles. And so the Penguins get it back. Letang or Fedotenko going in. Past the midpoint of this third period. Penguins with a goal in each period have a 3-0 lead. Giroux turned back. Take another look. He'll try a long pass, hoping Briere can cancel the icing, but that won't happen. Letang gets back. Well, now's the time to reserve your 2009-2010 season tickets. Guarantee yourself playoff tickets for every game and enjoy great season ticket holder benefits, including significant discounts from box office pricing. Call 215-218-PUCK or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Flyers have actually outshot the Penguins here in the third. Flyers with 9 shots here in the third. 6 for the Penguins. But the Penguins have one that went in. Eaton shot, and they have another one that went in. Mark Eaton firing from the point. Not sure if it deflected on its way in, but it is now 4-0 Penguins as they have seized control of game 1.
And a dejected rookie, Claude Giroux, making his way to the Flyers bench after losing that faceoff. Really hard to defend. Sidney Crosby got it back to the point, and then everything shaped up nicely. Billy Guerin definitely was the screen.
And right there, there's no way you can see Marty Biron had no opportunity, Billy, to be able to see that puck. It comes back to the point, and as you say, Giroux loses the face-off, and then it's just a matter of point to point, and that's a play where Eaton's just trying to get the shot on net, trying to get it through, and he had a lot of traffic.
Well, Eaton will have at least his first point in the playoffs in his career. He might have his first goal.
You know, Giroux was actually trying to go forward with that faceoff. Sidney Crosby saw it coming and blocked his stick and then pulled it back.
They're giving credit to the goal to Wilmington, Delaware native Mark Eaton. His first career playoff goal. He had only 4 goals during the regular season. More of a shot blocker, a defensive defenseman, but gets himself a goal here. Assisted by Letang and Crosby. The Penguins with a full goal cushion, less than 9 minutes to play. Gagne, and that one out. Coburn back to Richards for a shot that went just wide. And Alberts and along, but that's kept away from Briere by Scuderi. And Dupuis will find Talbot. Talbot, shot that's snared by Biron. He'll hang right on to it. 8:27 to go here in the third. The Penguins have scored twice here in the third to build their lead to 4.
Hi everyone, Leslie Goodell in the Comcast Sportsnet studios. They're exchanging blows down in our nation's capital. Brandon Dubinsky skates down the left side, rips one past Jose Theodore, and puts the Rangers back on top. The score now, New York up 4-3. Let's go back to Pittsburgh now, and Jim Jackson.
Thank you, Leslie. There's the breakdown. They met those 4 times, 86, 90, 91, 94. First couple were the old Patrick Division rivalries. And they played a lot of teams back-to-back years in the playoffs as the divisional playoffs began everything. You had the divisional semifinals, divisional finals, so you saw the same team quite frequently. Made for some great series. They haven't played since '94. And obviously the Rangers giving the Caps all they can handle in game 1. Right here, Penguins a 4-0 lead. And they scored twice in about a 4-minute span here of this third period to break it open. Flyers did not score a goal their last playoff game here. Remember, that was game 5 last year. Big hit on Carcillo by Cook. Carcillo wants a piece of him. Delayed penalty coming up against Pittsburgh. Now Cook gives Carcillo a shot to the chops. Play carries on. Penguins still haven't touched the puck. Carcillo then comes back and suckers him over the top. Just couldn't hold himself back.
No, it's where Dan Carcillo needed to look around and see what was happening. All you got to know is that the ref's arm was up and a penalty was going to be called. I'll be surprised if this wasn't evened up. Matt Cook had 2 for just crushing Dan Carcillo on the wall in front of the penalty box.
Penalty number 24. 2 minutes for Oberlin.
Wow, they did not give Carcillo a retaliation.
That's dodging a bullet right there.
That's that's like getting the break maybe of the, well, it's 4 right now, but you know, you can get a goal here and you can change things very quickly. And Carcillo right there, I agree with you totally, Billy. He gets drilled here. That's the penalty right there. That's when you know. Now he gets up immediately. Your team's down 4-0. You got to allow him to take that penalty. Don't you get drawn into it. Just skate away. There's a plenty of time in a 7-game series.
Well, it's creative editing by our crew. We got away from it before Danny did.
He got away with one at the end.
Although I will say this, Cook did give him a shot. One, they were entangled there as well. Maybe they felt no harm, no foul on the 2 shots.
Flyers will take this advantage. They can just turn it into something.
Teaming in will wind up his pass to Briere. Briere tried to go in front, but Scuderi was all over that. And then Briere did not look. He turned it back toward the point. Teaming in was not there.
The only thing that can really diffuse an aggressive penalty kill the way the Penguins are playing is extremely quick puck movement. You've got to know what your options are before you even get the puck, so you can move it fast enough to catch the Penguins out of position, because they force everywhere. Look at them. 2-on-2 on the board. Somebody's open. This time it was Timonen.
Richards in the middle off Gagne's stick. For Briere, and now Gagne. Back for Briere, and now Timonen. Maneuver right in front as Richards maneuvers off the wall. All the way across. That might have been meant for Briere. Gagne not ready, and look out. 2-on-1 the other way. Jordan Stahl. Stahl, the shot, save Miron. Flyers a chance in transition. 45 seconds remaining in the power play. Richards having trouble with the bouncing puck. I'm not sure he ever corralled it completely, and it was knocked back out to center. Think about a playoff series. You get a goal or 2 here, it can make you feel. You might think you're out of it, down 4 with only 6 minutes to change to play, but it could count towards something later on in the series.
Well, the other side of that coin says that if you don't come back and do anything, you're really revved up and angry at yourselves for the way you played game 1.
That is true.
You don't want to win the game 2 thinking you played better than you really did.
Right. And there are a ton of examples of teams that get blown out in game 1 and bounce back.
Sure.
Game 2. Tonight on Sports Night, take a look at the tight ends in this year's draft class. Also see where the Sixers sit in the playoff race. That's Sports Night tonight at 10 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Bills had their game rained out in Washington. So no highlights of those fighting Phils on this night. Puck sent out to center ice, and Jeff Carter is there for Philadelphia. Moves it into Matt Carl. Set it on through. Power play over. Out of the box jumps Cook. So the Flyers now 0 for 3 with the man advantage in this game. Loophole checked, and Matt Cook will move up with it. They'll throw it to the middle, hoping for Fedotenko. Coburn's back. Fedotenko all over him. Puck bounces free Malkin, but his quick pass knocked down by Coburn, who also got a piece of Malkin, and the Flyers move up with the puck. There's Lupul moving in, the wrist shot right into the breadbasket of Fleury, and he will smother it. 5:13, all that's left. Game number 1.
Let's take a look at our Toyota turning point. It was the goal that gave the Pittsburgh Penguins a 1-0 lead. Now, the puck is down to the left of Biron. Malkin wants to get it out to Kunitz, but it doesn't get to Kunitz. It hits the paddle of Biron. Comes right back to Sidney Crosby, and to say the least, it was a very disputed goal because it appeared like he kicked it. But you can see we had talked about Malkin, we had talked about Crosby. A goal and assist for both of them this evening, and you can see the ice time very similar.
Albert's a shot here, save Fleury, rebound Giroux, tripped up by Fleury, penalty. And that's no even thought about it. Finally did go up with the arm. Fleury got his stick into the skates of Giroux, and this will be another Philadelphia power play.
Got it right under him. Claude Giroux looked like he stepped on it. Coach, did you get a look at that down there?
You hit it right on the head, Bill. He stepped on Fleury's stick. Van Massenhoven's to my left. So now watch Giroux as he comes right past here. Now you see as he stepped on the stick of Fleury. Fleury was very surprised, but Van Massenhoven, all he saw because he was on the other side, you see him get hooked a little bit there?
Yeah, he did. And you know what? It looked like Fleury was going to go for the poke check on the puck, but Giroux's skates were between the puck and his stick.
Oops. Got in the way. So Fleury is penalized. Of course, goalie doesn't serve his own penalty.
At 14:54, minor penalty will be served by number 17,
Peter Sikora serving. Richards with a shot. Knuble was in there trying to deflect, but it went on through. Fourth power play for Philadelphia. They've gotten shots, but no goals. Gagne forced by Gill. Brings it across for Richards. Richards. Briere. Limiter passing here. Now toward the net, but it went wide. That quick over. Tips it back to Gill. Couldn't clear. Richards intercepts to the slot. Shot off the puck. Again, rebound. They score. Gagne ramming it home off the carom as Richards hit the post yet again. Let the Flyers get this one in. Gagne scores for a case of tasty cakes, and they're on the board.
Marc-Andre Fleury should have picked up a penalty after Mike Knuble scored. He cuffed him right in the back of the head. But Mike Richards was in survival mode, ducking so he didn't get hit with it. How about Mike Richards hitting the post again?
Well, even before this all started, same post. Now here you see Knuble getting drilled by Fleury. That's where the penalty should be called. Prior to that, Hal Gill was complaining because he got chopped at by Knuble. His stick was broken, so he didn't have a stick to come back into the play. But real nice play by Gagne. His position perfect because once that puck comes off of the post, it comes right to Gagne, left-hand shot, and he's got the wide open net.
21st career playoff goal for Simon Gagne. Richards will get the only assist, looking for more. Carter, but that shot took off. Hit his stick and went into the safety netting. Boy, they get a goal right there, Bill. All of a sudden, it's a two-goal game with more than 4 minutes to go, but they found the safety netting and not the back of the net. And the Flyers getting that goal from Simon Gagne. He scores for a case of tasty cakes. For each Flyers goal in tonight's game, Tasty Cakes will be making a donation to Flyers charities. Flyers ending a long goalless drought in the playoffs here in Pittsburgh as they've been shut out in their last game here. Look out, Guerin winds and fires. Mira the save, rebound all the way out to the circle. The Flyers there, but unable to control it. They just poke it out to the neutral zone.
I'm going to control that rebound.
No.
It's a missile coming at you.
Just a little heat on it. Orpik sends it in. Penalty upcoming on Philadelphia. Nope, yeah, delayed call, and as Carl touches, there it is, a cross-checking minor, and this will be another penalty that will not make John Stevens happy.
Joffrey Lupul, the guilty player, cross-checking. Don Van Massenhoven made the call. So with 3:52 to go, the chances of a comeback would have to be of miracle proportion.
Sixth power play upcoming for Pittsburgh. I know in your keys you said stay out of the box. 6 is just too many.
Against this team, absolutely.
And they look for the puck. It bounces around, and it's Ryan Parrott who finally comes up with it, and he'll fling one all the way down the ice.
I think after the first period, the Flyers have done a number of good things in this hockey game, but they've only really come in spurts. There hasn't really been anything sustained.
Knuble and Malkin after the puck, and back to Gonchar. Cross, Letang to Gonchar. And now Malkin tees it up, doesn't take the shot. Now the one-timer saved. That one also had a lot on it. Hardy just trying to get any piece of his equipment on the puck. Chris Kunitz turning with it. Back to Gonchar, one-timer off the stick, wide rebound. Crosby stuffed it wide. Letang around for Malkin. Quick little pass back out to Gonchar. His shot blocked out high by Powell. And now intercepted, chance to clear for Knuble, and he does. Oh, it went into a bench, and so play stopped. So 2:50 remaining in the third. Less than a minute in the power play. How do you size this one up Bill, as we look forward to game 2.
I think the Flyers have to start game 2 the way they came out during the second period. They have to be a good defensive team, and that's where it starts. I'll go back to one of the keys you just mentioned. It's staying out of the penalty box.
Simone seems to have Fleury's number. There's Stahl. Great pass to Sikora, but couldn't control it cleanly, and it's batted out of there by Jones.
Alberts has no stick.
Shot bounces to Hartnell. Needs to clear here, and he does. So Alberts will go over, and he'll just pick up a new stick. He'll stay on the ice.
I think another thing they've really got to do, really concentrate in taking time and space away from Malkin and Crosby. I think that would certainly slow the Penguins down an awful lot, because these just so elusive, they're so quick. But if you're concentrating on when they're on the ice, taking away that time and space, it certainly could help in the long run.
And I think they made strides in that direction in the last 2 periods. I know Malkin has a goal here, but that was a fluky kind of goal. I haven't called Crosby and Malkin as much.
I agree with that, and Coach is right. You got to take away time and space, but you really notice them when they're on the rush. So if you're on top of your game defensively, you won't notice them as much. And the Flyers have done a good job of at least taking the rush away from Crosby and Malkin in the last 2 periods. But Coach is right. You got to deny them time and space everywhere.
Just 1:37 remaining. Flyers are back to full strength. And there's Maxime Talbot making his way to center. Flipping one in. The Biron will steer to the corner. Fedotenko. That's by Parent. Gagne in there as well. We will go get it. Parent gets him. Gagne. Check. The Penguins continue to work. We'll finish this one off right here. Talbot. To the puck. Penguins are not exactly letting up. Dupuis got in front. Biron met him at the post and makes the save and covers. Flyers are hungry for more playoffs. They'll come home for games 3 and 4 of this series. Sunday, April the 19th at 3 is game 3. Tuesday, April the 21st at 7, game 4. Don't miss any of the Flyers hockey action as they battle their cross-state rivals. It's great stuff. Call 215-218-PUCK or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Look forward every spring, or at least 13 of the last 14 springs, to that atmosphere at the Wachovia Center for the home playoff games. Orange out. Flyers will be wearing their orange jerseys for the home games this year, so everything will be orange inside the Wachovia Center.
Except the blood. It'll still be red.
Close story. 64 seconds all that remains to this one. Much of the sellout crowd here at Mellon Arena comfortable with this 3-goal Pittsburgh lead. They're heading for the exits. Penguins win the draw. Letang shot up high. It's pinned by Biron.
Pretty good face-off win for Craig Adams, who was forced into the circle because Talbot got thrown out.
It's the dynamic duo for the Penguins. Second. There's a shot there. Letang off the glove of Biron. Malkin finished first. Crosby third in the scoring race. Not often the same team gets 2 of the top 3. And they were obviously on the scoreboard here in this one. Each with a goal. Crosby with a goal and an assist. Malkin with a goal and an assist. So 4 points. Pretty big. Final 32 seconds. Talbot moving on in. He's run. Is Carcillo out on the ice here for the final moments of the hockey game. Letang. Board Talbot. Alberts gets a piece of him. Penalty upcoming. Don Van Massenhoven spots a slash. And then Aaron Asham having some words. He was out there with Cook. Craig Adams. That's another thing you see in the playoffs here in the final minute of a game like this. You see calling cards being dealt out.
Well, you're reminding the other guy that it's going to be a long series. You can't go away for a month.
There's the news on losing the opener. It's become a habit for the Flyers. That's the second longest active streak. Game 1 losses. There's the slash.
Say Andrew Albert's kind of earned that one.
So he'll sit.
Asham went too.
Yeah, they sent Asham to the box. And a Penguin did not get penalized. So it's a 5-on-3 for the Penguins to try to add their lead here in the final 18.5 seconds.
No Crosby, no Malkin. Why bother, right?
Stahl's not bad anyhow. Oh, Stahl gets set head first toward the boards by Parent. That's going to be a penalty on Parent. Flyers can't lose another man. It'll still be 5-on-3. Howe gets in there, and hard frustration from the Flyers, but also letting the Penguins know they're still here, and they will be showing up for Game 2.
It's a big man he pushed right there.
So Parent will join his teammates. It gets crowded in the Flyers penalty bench here in the final seconds. I don't know. Stahl has been impossible to get off his skates all evening, and all of a sudden he went down. I don't know. I don't know why he'd be drawing a penalty at this point of the game, but it almost looked like that's what he's doing. They're going to send Scotty Hartnell off to the locker room, so evidently he yapped and got him misconduct. I doubt he's just leaving early.
Does kind of set the stage for the opening moments of Game 2.
Indeed. And now, how about the stage being set right now? There's a fight right in front. Billy Guerin, who can throw him, with Braden Coburn, and they plop to the ice before punches could really be dealt out. And the linesmen jump on top of them. Billy Guerin's one of those guys with skill, but he can also fight.
Strong guy. Not quite as big as Braden Coburn.
Coburn's strong as well.
Yep.
Well, Guerin, I think these players all want to get out of here early. They're succeeding.
Right off the faceoff in front of Marty Biron, you'll see Billy Guerin went right at Braden Coburn.
That's instigation, actually.
Yeah, that was Guerin that forced the issue.
Well, I certainly like the fact that the Flyers are leaving that calling card that you mentioned, Jimmy. They're not going to leave this building here without saying, hey, boys, we'll be back on Friday night and we'll be ready to go. And don't forget about last year with Washington, Montreal, where they lost those first 2 games, as you had said before. That's what's great about 4 out of 7 series. This is only 1 game.
Yeah, I like it too, Coatsy, but it really becomes a balancing act when you come into Game 2. You want to continue some of that aggressive play that you finished off Game 1 with, but you can't cut ruts to the penalty box. So it becomes kind of a double-edged sword to start Game 2. Flyers need to at least be as aggressive as the Penguins in the hitting department. The Penguins came out hitting everything that moved early.
And perhaps, Bill, you get into this kind of game, though, and you get the Penguins thinking about that side of the game, taking penalties that you were talking about. You got to get power plays against them. Who knows? We'll see how it turns for Game 2, which comes your way Friday. Game 1, solidly in Pittsburgh, favor 4-1 is your final. They take the 1-0 series lead. Marc-Andre Fleury was solid, made 26 saves. He gets a congratulation from his teammates as the Pens get the first one. Tonight's Stanley Cup Playoffs Game 1 from Pittsburgh was brought to you by Chevy. Find your nearest dealer on ChevyDealer.com. And by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. Well, coming up after the post-game show, it's Toyota Sports Night. Let's get a preview by sending it back to Philadelphia to the studio with Neil Hartman and Leslie Goodell.
Well, it's just me here, JJ. Thank you very much. Here's what we have coming up for you on Toyota Sports Night. Following our Flyers coverage, 76ers await their playoff opponent. They needed a win and a Bulls loss to improve their playoff positioning. We've got Sixers highlights plus D. Lonnon's breakdown of the postseason. Philly fans continue to mourn the loss of Harry Kalas. Greg Murphy has the latest on what the team is planning this weekend to honor Harry the Cat. Comprehensive Flyers coverage ahead from Pittsburgh to right here in our studio to reaction from the fans. We've got you covered. That includes Michael Barkin and also Al Morganti waiting behind me for the post-game show. But it's all straight ahead. Also Toyota Sports Night. But first we go back to the Igloo and JJ.
All right, Neil, thank you very much. There's your final score. The Penguins with a 4-1 win.
We'll take a look at our Comcast Business Class save of the game. Marc-Andre Fleury had a couple, including that one on Jeff Carter. Flyers took a lot of shots in the last 2 periods, but they all came from angles. Marc-Andre Fleury controlled most of the rebounds. He didn't on that one, but he made the save on Jeff Carter. It's our Comcast Business Class save of the game.
Back to wrap it up from Pittsburgh after these messages. Bud Light player of the game, Marc-Andre Fleury. As he said, Billy wasn't busy all through the game, but in spurts, he had to be good.
He was good. He was solid, and he got his confidence because the Flyers generated most of the attack from the outside. You can see all of these shots coming from angles. He was able to control the majority of the rebounds, and that is why he's our player of the game.
Quite frankly, tough to pick a player of the game. It was just a team win for the Penguins. They played very well as a club, and so they lead this series 1-0. Leading game 2 on Friday. Tonight's Flyers-Penguins Game 1, the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, was brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. By Wachovia, the official financial services partner of the Philadelphia Flyers. And by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. And Game 2 will be on Friday right here again in Pittsburgh at Mellon Arena. The Flyers trying to get back even in this Battle of Pennsylvania. Try to find some good things out of this first game here late. Move ahead and send it back to Philadelphia, tied at 1. Penguins, of course, looking for a 2-0 lead. That's Friday at 7 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet in high definition where available. And for tickets to games 3 and 4 back in Philadelphia, 1-800-298-4200 or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Coming up next, Dodge presents Flyers post-game live, all kinds of analysis, press conferences. We have Game 1 covered. You'll hear it all on the post-game show. Entertaining game early. The Penguins got the jump, held off the Flyers, win it 4-1. For the entire crew, including executive producer director Ryan Cooper and associate producer Chris Majaro, as well as my partners Bill Clement and Steve Coates. I'm Jim Jackson. Good night from Pittsburgh. Stay tuned now as Dodge presents Flyers post-game live.